Good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome to another stream by me, Eagle. And this time, we're going to be streaming Raging Loop. It's a game that's been in my backlog, and I've been meaning to play it, and what better time to play it, because it's a game about werewolves and murders and stuff. So what better time to play all that than during a spooky season. Mwahaha. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and play it. This will be the first time on stream that I've played a visual novel. Visual novels, they always interest me. They always have like good story, right? They're very interesting concepts. I just never really get around to actually playing them. And I have a few in my backlog, actually. I have this one. I have 999, right? And those games. I have quite a few visual novels that I've not really gone through. I think I have the Ace Attorney series on the Switch as well. And I've not really gone through them just because I can't like find myself sitting down to like actually do them. I just simply cannot find the time. So what better way than to, oh, my BGM is still on. So what better way than to just kind of do that with streaming, you know? I can stream, I'll hold myself responsible to play this game, and we can all enjoy a good story. There is supposed to be a thing here, hold on. I just went through all of the menuing and stuff like that and ended up here at the screen. So we're gonna go right into it. Some parts are voiced and a lot of parts are not voiced. So it's gonna be a bit of mix of both. So I figured like best of both worlds, right? You can hear the character's voice and then you can actually hear what they're saying. You know, if you've got me tapped out or something, I'll be narrating the whole thing. I have honey tea sitting right next to me, so I can be sipping on that so my voice does not get shot as I'm trying to narrate all this, because visual novels by nature are very text heavy. So here we go. This is Rikako, as you've just heard her. She's kind of like the narrator of this story. I don't know if she appears in the story. I think she mentioned something that in the beginning, but she is not the culprit, supposedly. Goes you wolf! Yes, welcome to stream. I don't have a wolf. I don't have a wolf thing except for this one, I suppose. I gotta time it right. Goes you wolf! There we go. There we go. Welcome on in. I'm explaining the characters. Well, the character, we've met Rikako at the very beginning. She may or may not appear in the story. She supposedly says that she is not the culprit. We're gonna find out one way or another. But she is the narrator of the story, so. Beyond the pockets of mist and hazes of blood, at the end of the ever-repeating despair and grief. Please come and witness. Oh, I should let her speak. Speak your truth, Queen. Please come and witness the truth of the werewolf village with your own two eyes. Wow. She's really cute. I hope we see her more. If we don't see her at the end, like throughout the stream, I'll go ahead and pull her up in the menu. 5/11 Sunday. I'm guessing that's November, right? It's not like May because of the backwards. The way it's supposed to be is day month, right? Unlike us Americans, which is month day. I closed in on the side of the road and killed the engine. It was steeper than I thought. My bike was on the verge of giving out, so I pushed down and deployed the kickstand. Now this is the main character. It's not Rikako. This guy. We're gonna be playing this guy. And if you see on the top or bottom right where I'm at, I got my detective fedora ready to go. I'm gonna solve this case, guys. I'm gonna do it. Well, I'm lost. Maybe taking the ride down to an unknown road with no sat-nav on me wasn't such a good idea. I just followed the road, so I figured I wouldn't get lost, but now I was in some deep shit. No, cool it. This isn't a big deal. I sighed, took note of the fact that I'd gotten lost in my pocket journal, and then pulled out a map. This game like wavers between not having music and not a whole lot of like audio to like having audio and music and like dialogue and stuff like that. So hopefully the way I adjusted the audio works. If not, let me know. Suddenly, a rush of memories fiddled in my mind. This is there's a key here, which means that we can't activate it. We gotta unlock that somehow throughout the story. But all we have is the option to hit forget it. I somehow kept myself from remembering those things. After all, I'd gone on this trip to forget.
More.
Ugh.
やめやめ。目の前の現実を直視。
Enough of that. I gotta focus on what's happening right now.
人生はシンプル。つまりこの道のごとく、真っ暗で道案内もなく、進むか返すか。考えることはそれだけ。
Life is simple, just like this road. It's dark and there aren't any guides, but that means all you gotta think about is whether you go forward or back. Going back wasn't an option in this case, so I just moved forward. Still, I wanted to know where I was at least, so I looked down at my map. It was all Greek to me. Last time I'd seen a sign, it was still light out, meaning that I'd gotten lost after the sun had set. Sure, it was my own fault for just guessing which intersections I'd been passing through, and that it'd taken me 2 hours to conclude I was lost. Crazy to think I was just 2 hours of aimless driving that got me almost completely surrounded by mountains. They extend as far as the eye could see. If you flipped the scenery upside down and shook it, it's unlikely that even a shred of civilization would tumble out. Besides the asphalt below, my sweet ride, and the lamppost above, the first one in a while, mind you, there was nothing man-made here. The pocket map I had wasn't detailed enough for me to figure out where I was.
進むか。
Guess I'll just keep driving. I'd go as far as I could. Worst comes to worst, I could just camp at the side of the road. Feel like you're gonna run out of gas eventually if you don't know where you're going. 2 hours later, I deeply regretted ever thinking that. Basically, camping wasn't an option. The mountain road had no side to camp on. A dump truck I'd barely passed by even fit on it. I'd also had my first close encounters with wild forest animals. I'd already seen 2 boars and 3 deer in those 2 hours alone. One of the deer had run parallel to my bike while intently staring at me, and I had no idea what to think of that. Gave him the Luigi stare from Mario Kart. I felt like it could smell my fear and did it to just make it worse. How dare that thing do that to a human? We're the kings of this planet, damn it. I'd have to remember to eat some venison when I come back to civilization. Dude is taking it personally. Anyway, camping out here was a bad idea. I'd end up as either roadkill or animal food. And yet I didn't back out. Why? Because I'm a pretty warped sort of guy, and I won't pretend otherwise. That was actually the reason why my once comfortable relationship had gone awry, and why I'd gone on this stupid trip. Oh, he's gonna lore dump. He's gonna vent. Still, despite acknowledging that, I chose to keep moving forward. It wasn't like I'd find a place to stay if I went back. I was actually starting to think that this experience might make a good conversation piece sometime down the road. It was really getting late to this point. Where would these roads take me anyway? It'd probably be disappointing. Soon enough, the road became flat, and I was out of the mountain pass. The forest remained abundant though, so I still didn't see much. Even so, the streetlights and signs were enough to make me feel like I was, again nearing civilization. Was streetlights the right expression for lights in a forest? I'd have to look that up. As the road grew less rugged, I realized that just how exhausted I was. All this bike handling had left my hands really sore too. I really had to rest. You really gotta take time to, you know, get up and stretch when you're on a road trip like that. Suddenly I saw something unexpected. Powerful, colorful, artificial lights. A convenience store? Fresh mark. Let me see if I can read this. Sake, so booze, and tobacco, smokes. That's exactly what it was. It was next to an intersection between the road I was on and another. An even thinner road that could probably support only a single car. The sea of trees ended up giving room for the majestic child of our consumerist society. Yeah, that was an exaggeration. Apparently even a damn store was a big deal for someone who just stepped out of the wild. It was called Freshmark. As a side note, whenever I'm on a road trip and it's like it's been hours since we've stopped, you know, on one of those really long road trips, like hitting up a McDonald's feels like civilization, you know, even though McDonald's is like just incredibly mid-tier, right? It's decent. When you've been out on the road for a while and you see a McDonald's, it's like you're back in civilization. I don't know how to describe it. I've seen several of them a few times during the day. It was probably a local franchise. The building didn't look all that old. At least the parking lot looked a lot smoother compared to the roads. That was a pretty weird place to build something like that, though. Was that close to a settlement? Or did they actually make a profit off of lost travelers? I just asked that or something. A local shopkeeper was bound to know what was around these parts. Not to mention, I was thirsty. What would you guys grab at a like a 7-Eleven or whatever, right? Gas station convenience store. If I was thirsty, I'd say maybe like an Arizona or maybe a Gatorade or something. The pepperoni sticks. Gotta grab the pepperoni sticks. The Slim Jims. I was welcomed by a weird chime sound. It looked like a normal convenience store. There were goods on the shelves, a counter to the left, and... Whoa. The worker at the counter was so mean looking it was scary. They do look scary, but I also see a waifu, so... well, we'll add that to the waifu counter here. A counter waifu, even. She was so imposing that I would have doubted if someone told me she was in charge of some ladies' army corps. I mean, she's not that scary. Dude is just afraid of the dreadlocks. And for that, he's a coward. That's supposed to be a greeting? It was so damn cold, it actually gave me the chills. Bro has never been to a American convenience store where they just look at you and give you a nod, if even that. Was this store shadier than it appeared? Was I about to be stupidly overcharged? Was this how the place made a profit? By taking advantage of lost people and basically beating them out of their money? Dude, you're in a convenience store out in the sticks at night, and you expect the service to be spectacular. Again, this is probably like Japan culture, right? Kicking in. But damn, I would just be like, damn, this place is open and I can actually get shit. That's amazing. 10 out of 10. Shit, that was scary. Clearly, the Wonderland had only just begun. Woohoo! I sure was excited for the beating. I grew more nervous and less enthusiastic by the second. It should have been me! I braced myself, but she just looked down at the magazine in her hands. Oh, so she was just a slacker. Slightly disappointed, I walked around the store. He wanted to get beat? Maybe he is one of us. It was just about what you'd expect. There was a small shelf with energy drinks, followed by some stationaries, travel goods, sanitary stuff, etc. There were sweets that came with toys, a shelf of cup ramen and dried food, a fridge, a freezer. It all looked normal. It was late, so the daily dish and packed lunch section was completely empty. The only special thing about this place was a section full of unpacked vegetables you'd see at the greengrocers. Maybe all rural convenience stores were like this? I was slightly surprised by that, but there aren't any local fine foods or anything, so all in all, it was an unremarkable store. If you ignored the clerk anyway. Slightly surprised, but there weren't any local fine foods or anything. Unremarkable store. Okay. I took a drink and brought it to the register. Yep, she really was the highlight of this place. What kind of clerk smokes while dealing with the customer? They're actually buying? Yes, I was actually buying. She was the clerk and I'd be her god, the customer. Who is this dude? That'll be 126 yen. She didn't even scan it. The exchange was at the mercy of the clerk. God is dead. Maybe I had to get mad at her? Can I ask something? I'm kinda lost right now. I quickly turned meek. Where can I find the nearest town? There. Oh, you don't got a map or something? We don't. Ah, man, this woman. I'm not sure I believe that. Convenience stores often get asked for directions. You must have a map handy. He's like, actually, you should have a map. I hate the MC, dude. What the hell?
知らねえよ。
Is that a
大
rule?
門はね、
Well, we don't have one.
おとなしく来た道戻れよ。
Go back where you came from.
もう数時間迷ってるもんで、これ以上はちょっと。
I've been lost for a few hours now. I don't think I can keep up for much longer.
その辺の床で寝てけば。
Sleep on the floor or something. She had to be joking.
いや、お気持ちだけでいいんで、道だけちゃんと教えていただけたら。
I appreciate the sentiment, but I'd rather be on my way. Are you sure you can't help?
ああ、もう、うっせえな。待ってろ。
Alright. Just wait. The clerk put out her smoke in the ashtray and went off to the staff-only area. She came back in no time.
あったわ。
Oh, we can see her eyes now. Found it. So she did have a map. Of course she did. Even more ill-tempered than usual, the clerk started giving an explanation.
これがこの店。
This here's the store.
で、十字路北へ行け。
Go to the north of the crossroads.
うんうん。
Mm-hmm.
しばらくしたら立教があっから。
You'll find an overpass soon enough.
最初の分岐のとこに大岩があっから、そこを右折して、あとは直線。
Cross it, and when you come to a fork to the giant boulder, a fork next to the giant boulder, turn right and head straight.
この道？
On this road?
んだよ。
What of it?
いや、この先何もなくないです。
There's nothing there.
書かれてねえだけで集落があんだよ。
There's a settlement. It's just not on the map.
うん。そこ以外なら？
Do you know of any other places?
富士吉村まで行くには峠道を2時間。こっちなら30分で着く。
There's Fujiyoshi, but it's 2 hours through a mountain pass. This one's about 30 minutes away. Fujiyoshi seemed to be a village. It didn't look too far away, but the road leading to it was a huge branching mess. It was clearly just a paved mountain pass. I had enough of those for one day. I'd probably just get lost again.
じゃあ、こっち行ってみます。
I'll go to that one then. Thank you.
金
Money.
はい。
What?
払ってねえだろ。
You didn't pay for the tea.
ああ、じゃあ500円。
Here's 500 yen. Oh, they're not gonna do the ding? the cash register thing?
なぜお釣りを無断で募金箱に入れるんですか？
Why did you put the change in the collection box without asking me?
小銭多いとうぜえだろ。
Having too many coins is a pain, ain't it? That was a hell of a line. I casually thanked her, grabbed a plastic bottle of tea. She didn't give me a bag, by the way, and left the store. She didn't give you a bag. You didn't ask for one, bro. I drank the tea in the parking lot and looked up at the moon, obscured by clouds, but still bright enough to outshine the light of the convenience store. The clerk put me in a bad mood, though, so I didn't enjoy the sight. I threw the bottle into a nearby trash can and aggressively drove away. Following the directions, I crossed the overpass and arrived at the first fork in the road. The byway she told me about was really narrow. I probably wouldn't have noticed it were it not for the tall boulder standing there like a roadside shrine for some traveler deity. Turning carefully, I got on the road. A minute later, I found myself in an even worse wilderness than before. A veil of dead leaves covered the ground, tall grass sided the path, and the sky above me was blocked by overgrown shrubs, making it feel like I was passing through a wooden tunnel. The road itself was a huge red flag. It was a wonder why I didn't just turn around. The exchange from before might have pissed me off more than I thought. Still, I really didn't expect the road to just end. It happened about 15 minutes in. The view ahead suddenly turned strangely dark, and a split second later, the bike tipped forward. I reflexively hit the brakes, but it was too late. I started going down a cliff. My bike tilted downwards. Its suspension was put to the greatest test yet as we basically tumbled down to the bottom. The headlights suddenly shone on some dirt and grass. I knew then that it'd be flung out of my seat. Stifling a scream, I tried to work some steering and brake magic to slow down without collapsing. That was too big of a task for a simple road bike. At the bottom of the cliff, it jumped higher than ever before. The suspension couldn't handle the impact, and I was launched into the air. A moment later, I heard a crash, and felt an impact, after which came an unpleasant pain. Oh yeah, he definitely crashed. Damn it. An accident where I was flung out like that was a first for me. The launch was really something, too. I did a 360 in the air and fell on my back. My breathing stopped for a moment, and the pain was so bad I thought all my bones shattered. That's crazy. My face and limbs seemed pretty fine, at least, though. I wasn't sure if that counted as a silver lining. There was grass under my hands. I felt it even through the gloves. That and the smell of green made it pretty clear what I landed on. I pushed down and my hands sunk. This grass growth was pretty hefty, and it was probably the reason why I came out relatively okay. Sure, my joints creaked when I stood up, but aside from that, I was fine. It was really dark, so I couldn't really confirm it, but I was pretty sure I wasn't even bleeding. My bike, however, wasn't nearly as lucky. Oh boy. It was lying on its side a short distance ahead. The engine was still on, the back wheel kept turning, making an unpleasant fricative noise. Fricative. Yep, it was busted. I walked up, killed the engine, and took the key. With the headlights off, I was surrounded by absolute darkness, so I just stood and waited until my eyes adjusted. I still couldn't see very clearly, but it looked like this actually wasn't a cliff. It was still on a road. It just wasn't paved beyond this point. Obviously, a road bike stood no chance against an unpaved road. The woman actually tried to kill me. Zigzagging through the trees, I followed the narrow footpath deeper into the forest. I tried getting my bike up and running again, but instantly gave up. It was partially stuck in mud, so there was the risk of it slipping and getting me into another accident. Maybe I have to turn around? The moment I considered that, I thought I saw a faint light ahead. If that woman wasn't lying, this road led to a settlement. Was I close? I reached into my jacket's pocket, took out my phone and opened it up. As you could expect, I was out of range. I ran the light app and shone the light to see better. Though weak, it was better than nothing. At the very least, to help me watch where I was going. I had no idea how long I'd been walking for. But sure enough, I could see the light beyond the shrubs. It was weaker than expected. A flashlight, perhaps? I could hear water, too. Must have been a river. Hello? I raised my voice. Hello? Anyone there? Still declaring my presence, I walked forward. It was late at night. Were I to bump into someone here, the scare would probably take away a few years of our lives. That's why I figured it was probably best for us to let the other know we were here before that happened. However, there was no response. Did they not hear me over the rapids? Hello? I shone my light ahead and realized I'd made it I'd made it to an opening. Sure enough, there was a river, or a stream rather. I could see slightly more than I had while surrounded by trees. Straining my eyes, I saw a rocky river beach and the shallows. The light I'd seen was on the other side. From what I could tell, it was either a lantern or a flashlight, and it was close to the ground. I didn't see any people though. No one responded to my shouting either. I wasn't excited about it, but I decided to step into the water. The cold water quickly soaked my shoes and socks. I should have taken them off, but I figured that crossing a river barefooted at midnight was a bad idea. But man, was it cold. I put my phone back into my jacket. I needed both of my hands free in case I fell. Not stopping or backing down, I walked towards the light. It suddenly became deeper. The water reached my knees now. That was too close to comfort. Feeling the bottom with my toes and balancing myself, I somehow avoided losing my footing. The flow was fiercer than I'd expected. If I slipped and fell, I'd probably be washed away. It suddenly hit me that I was doing something really weird, but it was too late to back down. Putting my hands on the boulders and carefully checking that I was stepping on what I was stepping on, I gradually made it to the other side. Then, with an unpleasant wet sound in my every step, I walked up to the light. I could already see it clearly. Yep, it was a flashlight, lying on the ground for some reason. There wasn't much space here. It was a narrow riverbank with a cliff right beside it. As you'd expect, I didn't see or sense anyone nearby. What the hell? The flashlight was working fine. The strength of the light told me the battery was pretty full. That meant that someone was actually using this tonight. Or rather, just a few moments ago. That was the most logical conclusion. It obviously wasn't left here yesterday afternoon or evening. And yet the user was nowhere in sight, and I was near a river. Did something bad happen? Did the flashlight's owner step into the stream and get swept away? That was the most likely and worst possible scenario. However, the flashlight was left there practically buried in the pebbles. It didn't seem like someone placed it there to light things up. It was the dead of night. There was no way you wouldn't notice dropping your flashlight when it was so dark. Right. The fact that a light source was left in a place like this was strange by itself. With that considered, what was going on here? What if someone heard my stupid shouting and decided to lure me in with a light so they could ambush me? Where would they attack from? Above?
こんばんは。
Hello? I heard a voice the moment I looked up. The rock cliff was actually made of several boulders. There was a face peeking from behind one of them.
こんばんは。
Hello?
ああ、人だ。びっくりした。
Wow, a person, you surprised me. That was my line.
悪いんだけど、それ取ってもらえます？
Sorry, could you pick that up for me? The voice was feminine. I finally realized what was going on.
落としたってわけですか。
So, you dropped this? I picked up the flashlight and pointed it at the source of the voice.
やん。
Ah! A high-pitched voice, slender hands, shielding the light. Sure enough, it was a young woman.
眩しいな。
It's so bright.
失礼。ちなみに、こっちはこういうものですが。
Oh, sorry, this is me, by the way. This is me, by the way. Who are you even?
怖いです。下から照らさない。
That's creepy. Don't shine up the light from below like that.
実は、当方道に迷っており。
I'm actually a bit lost.
だとすると、割と究極的に迷ってますよ。
I think a bit is something of an understatement then. Yeah, I thought as much.
ここって、人里です。
Is this a settlement?
難しい質問だな。
That's a difficult question.
とりあえず、助けてもらえないかと。
Can you help me out at least?
助ける？
Help?
雨露しのげて、野生動物がいなければ何でもいいんで。
I just need a place to hide from the rain and the wild animals, that's all. You could have told her you crashed because you're lost, dude. Standing on a boulder, the young woman made a pensive face.
じゃあ、うち来ます？
Wanna come to my place? And that was the conclusion she'd arrived at. Her face told me she was 100% serious. Place. My place. By that, she surely meant a house. A settlement.
いいんです。頼んどいてなんですが、遠慮を忘れてすがりたい程度には切羽詰まってるんですが。
Can I? I know I asked for help and all that, but I'm actually desperate enough to not hold myself back.
え？男として？
Huh? As a man?
え
Yes.
え、いや違う。
I mean, no.
一個の生命として、数時間迷った挙句、バイクでこけて、心身ともに限界ってわけです。
As a living being, I spent the last few hours aimlessly driving around only to fall off my bike. I'm dead tired and at my wit's end here.
あらら。なら、見捨てるのもどうよって感じじゃないです？一個の生命として。
Oh dear. Then what kind of living being would I be if I just abandoned you? And so, I was saved. Oh, the beauty of living beings looking out for each other.
じゃあ、手、いいです？
Anyway, your hand, please. Huh?
ここ、一人じゃ登れないでしょ？
You can't climb out on your own, yeah? True. Honestly, I didn't even realize what I'd have to. Meeting another person filled me with relief, which was followed by a sudden wave of fatigue. It wasn't crippling, though. She extended her left hand, so I grabbed it with my own left. Her slender fingers were stronger than I expected. The girl's name is Chiemi Serizawa. I asked if she was related to the Shinsengumi guy, but she said that her family just adopted the name at some point in the Meiji period. Wow, imagine knowing your family history like that. Going that far back, that's crazy. She was a 21-year-old who went to a college far away from here. This was her hometown, and she was spending her post-exam vacation here. We chatted about stuff like that once she led me out of the rocky ravine. There was actually a proper path, so the rock climbing was pretty pointless, but I was too focused on my footing to comment. She told me about herself as soon as we reached solid ground.
ちなみにそちらは？
And what about you?
名前は房石春明。東京で大学院生やってます。
I'm Haruaki Fusaishi, a graduate student in Tokyo College.
あ、じゃあちょっと年上。
So you're a bit older.
24だから、 芹沢さんと3つ違いかな。でもまあ、同世代でしょ。
I'm 24, so 3 years, I'd say. We're in the same age range.
ちえみでいいですよ。敬語とかもいらないです。
Yeah, so don't you dare be formal with me.
じゃあ僕も、呼び捨てタメ口がいいな。
Alright, then you can be casual with me too.
ですか？
Can I really?
女の子に親しくされてるみたいで、嬉しいからね。
I like it when girls are friendly with me.
なるほど。実は私も堅苦しいの苦手なんで、じゃあ遠慮なく。
Well, I don't know. I know what you mean. I don't like stiff socializing either. Sure, I'll treat you like a friend.
どうぞどうぞ。ちなみに、まだ結構遠い？
I wouldn't have it any other way. That aside, are we there yet?
そうでもないかな。もう5分くらい頑張りましょい。
Not quite. We're like 5 minutes away. Hang in there, Chief. It's so funny. Are we there yet? So help me God, we're gonna turn this thing around. What a lively girl. You could tell she was used to people.
ただ、足元に気をつけて、明かりだけ見て。
Also, watch your step and focus on just the light.
何かあるの？
Any reason?
この辺、石ころだらけで危ないんだ。
There are loads of pebbles here. It's dangerous. The moment she said that, I stumbled on a rock too big to be called a pebble.
あと、今夜はずいぶん暗いしね。
And it's pretty dark tonight. Couldn't even see the moon anymore. Nodding in agreement, I focused on following the light in her hand.
ちょっと待っててもらえます？着替えちゃうんで。
I gotta change. Wait here a sec. And so I did just that. Given this was a mountain settlement, I'd expect some old wooden house, but she actually lived in an apartment block. It was too dark to get a good look at it, but all I could see were the cheap-looking walls, like you'd expect some old boarding house for students. Also, she lived on the second floor, in room 202. Should I be writing this stuff down? I had heard some raindrops as we were climbing the rusty stairs, but now it was really pouring. Between that, the darkness, and the large tree right next to the building, it was nearly impossible to see what was going on outside. It felt like I was all alone in a world of nothing but walls, the door, and the fluorescent lamp above my head. It made me feel somewhat helpless. Did he grab his bike, I wonder? Or did he just abandon it? I distracted myself from that by imagining her changing. Oh, okay. Eventually, the door opened up.
お待たせ。上がって。
She threw on a jogger, I guess. Sorry about the wait, come in. All smiles, she showed herself now wearing sports clothes. It was kind of exciting. Easy now.
なんにもないでしょ？
Look at this place. It's completely empty, huh?
何にもないね。
Yep.
でも冷蔵庫の中は、ほら。
Get a load of what's in the fridge.
素晴らしい。
Subarashi means magnificent.
飲みますか？
Let's drink.
やったぜ。
Hell yeah. Oh. Yeah, her place was really empty. Is there a way I could just see the illustration? Menu. Hide. Oh, cool. So they're drinking a bunch of strong zeros. A bunch of beer. They got schnackies. Looks like they're having a good time. They've already had a few apparently. At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beers between them. And if it's like strong zero, like the strong ones, you know? I don't know. The place was really empty. It was just a small room with a low table in the middle and a fridge near the door and a large duffel bag deeper in. There were two old-looking bookshelves too, but they were completely empty. What did he say? Small room, low table, fridge near the door, and a large duffel bag deeper in. Well, she did say she was from out of town, so the large duffel bag would be would be explainable. However, I got my eye on you. Everyone's a suspect here. How do I go back? There we go. 2 bookshelves, they were completely empty. I wasn't bothered one bit though. Any girl's room was a wonderland to me.
じゃあ、大変だった春秋さんに、お疲れ様。
Anyway, you went through some big trouble, so I'll drink to you.
地獄で出会った仏様に乾杯。
And I'll drink to you for helping me out. You're a real saint. We opened our cans and knocked them together and downed them. It was actually good. Pleasant bitterness and refreshing carbonation made for a good combo. She did the ha that the Evangelion girl does. Typical anime girl drinking beer response. So good. I live for this.
その若さでそれはないでしょう。
Come on, you're too young to say that.
言い過ぎた。愛や将来にもまだ絶望してません。
Yeah, you're right. I'm not despairing for my future or love life yet.
ところが、就活という影が迫る。
You hear that? That's the sound of job hunting. It's coming here fast. Boo! Job application.
いややめて。せっかくのビールがまずくなる。
No, don't say that. You'll ruin my beer. She laughed and took a huge sip. It was pretty clear she could hold her drink. That aside, something really bothered me.
お誘いに乗っておいてなんだけど。
This might be a bit late for this, but can I ask you something?
何？
Go ahead. Her cheeks were already red. Maybe she didn't handle her liquor as well as I thought. She had a well-featured face, and I didn't think it was wrong to consider her beautiful. Sure, her clothes weren't the least bit sexy, but I could tell she had some makeup on.
僕は完全に正体不明の自称迷い人だよね。
To you, I'm just some stranger who says he's lost, right?
そうね。
Yep.
君は年頃の女性。今は深夜。ワンルームの密室で男と二人っきり。その上アルコールまで入ってしまった。
And you yourself are a young woman who invited that stranger into an enclosed space and started getting drunk.
おお。
Oh.
身の危険を感じたりとかは？
Don't you think this is dangerous? She kept gulping the drink even as she formulated a response. The very fact that I could just watch her do that made this a pretty risky situation, and yet...
あんまりないかな。
I wouldn't say so. That's because she's the killer! Booker, I got you. First person I see and I'm already like, yep, that's the killer.
それは。
But...
芹沢千恵美クイズ。
time for a Chiemi Serizawa quiz.
イエーイ。
Yay!
問題。ふと気づいたら低層が瀬戸際。にもかかわらず、芹沢千恵美は特に身の危険を感じない。なぜでしょう？
Here's the question. My virginity is threatened, yet I don't feel like I'm in danger. Why? What a fun girl. Fun is not what I would choose in this response. That you should feel a little wary now. What a fun girl. This only made me like her more, increasing the danger even further. I feel like this dude has a affinity for girls that could potentially murder him or beat his ass. He had a similar reaction to the clerk lady, and he had a similar reaction to the situation right here. Which I mean same. You've seen me react in the Discord movie watch chat groups, right? Every guy has at least a little bit of that in them. So I'm not gonna doubt him. However, the fact that she said she's not worried about like a potential stranger doing like SA to her or worse, the fact that she's not bothered at all, and the fact that she helped someone stranger in the middle of the night, and the fact that she herself was out there in the middle of the night to help this said stranger, makes me think that she is dangerous. Very much so. Capital D dangerous, right? And we should tread carefully around her. So I'm gonna keep an eye on her. Anyways,
質問 OK？
am I allowed to ask questions?
どうぞ。
Sure.
僕のことがいい人っぽいという答えはなしでいいかな。
Can I just assume that it's not because I look like a good guy?
悪い人に見えるってわけじゃないけど、まあなしかな。女の子慣れしてそうだし。
Well, I don't think you look like a bad guy, but no, I doubt you're good either. You look experienced with women, for one. She said, this guy fucks. The unintentional compliment showed that she actually did see me as a potential danger.
考えられる回答は大きく2つ。想定外だが何が起きても問題ない。もしくは想定通り。
There are two types of answers to this. Either you expect nothing bad to happen, but wouldn't be bothered if it did, or you actually want something to happen. Wait, how did he phrase that? There are two types of answers to this. Either you expect nothing bad to happen, but wouldn't be bothered if it did. I expect nothing bad happen, but wouldn't be bothered if it did. Or you actually want something to happen. Oh, I see.
前者はいろいろ考えられるかな。例えば、ちえみちゃんが何かやけっぱちになっていて、どうにでもなれって場合。
I can think of several situations for the former. For example, you're actually on the edge and don't care about what happens.
あるいは、十分な自衛手段がある。実は護身術の達人で、僕なんか軽く乗せるとかね。
Or maybe you're just confident that you can defend yourself. Maybe you know martial arts and can easily kick my ass.
論理的。春明さん理系だね。
Whoa, so logical. Let me guess, you're a scientist.
まあそうかな。一方で後者、つまり、この状況が君の想定通りって場合は。
Only scientists can be logical, apparently. Well, I guess you could say that. Now, for the latter, if you intend for something to happen, then
例えば、私がエロエロですとか
I'm a thirsty perv or something? Wow, talking about not mincing words.
酔っ払ってきたな。
I blame the booze. So, what else is
他には
there?
何があるでしょう
Oh, she still had words to say. Indeed, what other reason could a woman have to bring a stranger to her home? She intends to kill you. It would surely be something non-standard like,
僕の存在が君の利益になる例。
you want to use me somehow.
例えば、アリバイ工作。君がここにいたと、後日僕が証言することで君が有利になる。
For example, setting me up as an alibi. I could be useful to you by attesting that you were here.
おー、ちゃっかり利用するわけだ。
Oh, that's so shrewd.
あるいは、ちえみちゃんが恐るべき殺人鬼で僕を酔っ払わせてぶっ殺す。
Or maybe you're a serial killer who brought me here just to get me drunk and kill me. Yes. Yes. Now we're asking the questions.
はあ、ヤマンバ。いいね。ブッシュブッシュ殺しちゃう。
Oh, so I'm some evil mountain witch now. Sounds great. I'll kill you real good. This guy is me calculating why a girl is talking to me because girls would never hit on me. At the very least, he's got the sense, right? Like, I'm in this good situation, but why am I in this good situation, right? So he's not a total clueless dummy MC. I just hope he and we can figure it out before, we get gotted. What kind of sound effect was that?
ちなみに前提で出た2つのケースの他に1つあるよ。
He said sound effect to the sploosh sploosh sound effect when she says, I'll kill you real good. By the way, you forgot another case.
あれ抜けてた？
I did?
私がとってもいい人で春明さんを助けてあげたい一心だっていうケース。
Yep, I could be just a really good person who simply wants to help you. Was it time for me to be ashamed of my filthy mind?
いやでもそれで自分が襲われるかもって考えたら。
Oh wait, is that really important enough to risk being assaulted?
わあ、襲うって言っちゃったよこの人。
Oh, so you're thinking of assaulting me?
一般論ね。
I'm just talking in general, the cliche scenario. She stopped talking and turned red. It was so cute, I thought she was actually doing it on purpose. Man, was she drunk? Oh no, man, was she drunk. And we were just on our second cans.
じゃあこういうのは止めないともっとひどいことになる。それはさすがに忍びないなとか。
Then how about this? If I don't let you stay here, something even worse could happen, and I'd feel real bad.
ごめん。もうちょっと詳しく。
Care to elaborate?
この辺りには怖い野生動物が出ます。明日にはこの人はズタズタに引き裂かれてしまうかもしれません。
There's some scary wild animals around here. You might have gotten torn up and eaten. Scary wild animals around here. You might have gotten torn up and eaten. Now, I did mention this game was about werewolves. But up until this point, they haven't really explained it. It's like in promo trailers and all that stuff, and like even the logo cover, the one that I used for the Twitter, announcement has like the bad guys in the background, right? It's like a wolf-like figure. So why would she say that? Getting torn up and eaten. I mean, in the wilderness, you can get attacked by wolves and shit, right? So maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I feel like if she's not the culprit, which she may be, then she at least knows something going on, right?
このまま見捨てたらとても寝覚めの悪い思いをするかもしれません。それならまあ止めてあげようかしら。
That I left a bad taste in my mouth, so I figured I'd just let you stay instead.
なるほど。リスクと善意を天秤にかけるってわけか。これは想定外。
I see, so you're balancing risk and goodwill. Didn't expect that.
想定外か。この人だいぶ悪い人なんじゃないかって気がしてきたな。
Really now? You got any idea of how much of a bad guy you seem now?
え、そう
The picture you posted on Twitter also makes the MC look like he's thinking, I still don't get it. Hopefully he gets it together. Or we're gonna end up very dead. Huh? I do?
だって、
Wait, what'd she say?
善意を選択肢に入れる前に殺人鬼とかアリバイとかエロエロとか
Oh, do you have any idea how much of a bad guy you seem now? I mean, you assumed I was a thirsty perv, a serial killer, or needed an alibi before considering I was just a nice person.
ヘロエロは君が言い出したんでしょうが。
You're the one who brought up the perv thing.
そうだったっけ？
Details, details.
答えは？
So what's the right answer?
え、これって単なるバカ話じゃないの？
Huh? We're not just messing around?
正解者には素敵なプレゼント。不正解者はブッシュブッシュ殺します。
Get it right, and I'm giving you a nice present. Get it wrong, and you're dead. Sploosh, sploosh. Seriously? Oh, decision time. Decision time. How do I save? Save. Save. Right? You save before a big decision. Okay. So there's one option we can't choose because it's locked away. We have an option that says you're desperate. And this is, she's trying to get us to answer the question of, is she a thirsty perv, a serial killer, or need an alibi, or any one of those. The responses are, you're desperate. Another one is, you need an alibi. There's, you're a thirsty perv, or you'd feel guilty if you let me die. Let's think about this. Let's put on our thinking detective hats on. You're desperate. Desperate for what? That's what I don't get. Like, they're desperate to have someone, they're desperate to hide something, but the hiding something is like you need an alibi, right? And if they're the killer, they may in fact need an alibi to like say, oh, I didn't kill that person, I was helping out this other person, right? You're a thirsty perv, I think is the funny answer. You know, if this game has H scenes, which I'm not sure, I'm not sure, and I haven't checked, honestly. I should have done my due diligence before we went live. I don't think this game has H scenes, but maybe if we choose that thirsty perv, we'll get something. Or you'd feel guilty if you let me live. Which, okay, so I'm between numbers 2 and 3, maybe, or numbers 2 and 4, maybe 3 if I'm feeling like funny. Is this the raunchiest hentai game that we're playing by accident? Should I get like a screen ready? I guess I could just go into my BRB screen if anything does happen, I suppose. Or I just turn off the Elgato source like this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So you need an alibi because they're the killer. Or you'd feel guilty if you let me die. They're not the killer, but they know something and they don't want an innocent person getting involved, right? Would the game introduce us to the killer from the very start? We need a screen that shows you playing Super Mario in case your mom walks in. I'm gonna load up like a previous stream of me playing Super Mario and just cut to that. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. But she definitely feels like, if she is the killer, she definitely feels like one of those types where she's kind of like hee hee ha ha, like very jokester, non-serious, and then you end up with a you know, a blade in your stomach, you know, a blade in the gut. and she's kind of like a yandere. She switches to a yandere, you know. So 2, 3, or 4. I suppose we did save, right? So I can just choose one and reload if I care. I'm gonna choose you're a thirsty perv. Cause why not? Oh wait, if I chose one, I'm gonna get stabbed, right?
正解です
Ding ding ding, you're right. Woohoo! Damn, I need the SF Wahoo in chat right now. I don't know if this is the right answer or if we're just about to get stabbed, but she says we answered correctly, so I mean, yeah, there you go. Woohoo!
まるでエッジ漫画のような展開正解おめでとう
It's like a porn mag. Congratulations, now bring it on.
だが待ってほしい。迷った先で好都合な展開というのは物語上明らかに後々ガクッと落とすための前振りである。
Hold up, I know how the story goes. People who get lost and stumble upon something good never end up well.
あ、確かに狐に化かされたとか亡霊つまり私にたたり殺されたりとかシャレにならない病気移されたりとか
Ah, that's true. You could be getting tricked by a fox. I might be a ghost out to curse you to death. Or you're about to catch some bad disease.
そうそう。
Exactly.
テレレレレテレレレレテレレレレテテレレレレさあ世にも奇妙な扉を開こうぜ
Now come, let's open this path and see where it goes.
やめとく。
Nope.
か
Oh no. Anyway, this girl was actually pretty sharp. She really had a way with words and knew how to capitalize on it. It almost felt like she was implying that I couldn't let my guard down just because I was a guy. I admitted she was pretty damn attractive, but I felt like I'd have more fun just talking about loot stuff and then acting on it. I felt like I'd have more fun just talking about loot stuff than acting on it. Oh, I see. This option requires Hentai DLC Season Pass 3. Damn it. I mean, it's not a bad end, right? So we live, question mark. The next day. The last thing I remembered when I was our little, when was the last time you pissed yourself while sleeping talk? I had to tell her about the time I got so drunk I wet my pants in the middle of a boarding house. 24 hours later. She laughed so hard she started frothing at the mouth and passed out. She laughed so hard she started frothing at the mouth and passed out. I woke up with a splitting headache. So what, they drank into the wee hours and just decided to and call it there, I guess? I woke up to a splitting headache. Oh man. Morning already? Light poured in through the frosted window. I pulled out my phone and checked the time. 7 in the morning. I'd gone to sleep somewhere between 2 and 3, which probably wasn't quite enough sleep. At least I didn't wake up to some horror movie scene. The building wasn't in ruins and the girl wasn't actually a skeleton. He fell asleep around 2 or 3 and woke up at 7, right? Doing the math, that's 5 to 4 hours? Yeah, it's probably not enough time to sleep. Though in a way, this might have been worse. Ugh. She was spread out on the floor on the other side of the mini table. Her breathing was mixed with some weird gurgling sounds. I hesitantly looked at her. Oh, did she die? The saint that saved me from hell I was in last night had puked in the middle of her sleep. Oh. What was I supposed to do there? As I guess I couldn't really be too harsh on her.
ちえみちゃん
Chiemi-chan! Hi! Nani ka, ski? Sorry, I had to do it. Phew. She wasn't waking up. Well, I just do what little I could. I said that so much at languages stage today, it's so funny. It is a funny phrase to say. There should be good enough. Oh, that should be good enough. I'd used tons of toilet paper to clean up her mess and flush it down the toilet. It left a stain on the floor, but it was dirty to begin with, so whatever. I'd even wet a towel and cleaned her face. Even then, she saw no signs of waking up. Damn. Hard sleeper. Some of it was on her hair and clothes, but I figured it was best if she took care of that herself.
ちえみちゃん
Jamie-chan?
朝
Morning? The first hint of consciousness so far today.
ちょっと出ておくから。
I'll be leaving for a bit. Without waiting for a response, I walked to the entrance. She'd have to take a shower and change and all that, so I'd kill time outside. I stepped into my still damp shoes with my bare feet. My socks were in the washing machine with the towel she gave me to wipe my legs, and reached for the doorknob. I opened the door and was greeted by a gust of wind. The raindrops gathered on the leaves of the tree next to the building. The raindrop gathered on the leaves of the tree next to the building, flew right into my face, making me grimace. Something about this sentence is throwing me off. The raindrops gathered on the leaves of the tree next to the building, flew right into my face. So the raindrops smacked into his face, or the leaves smacked into his face? I'm gonna assume the raindrops. The rain from last night was already over. The sky was pretty clear, but despite that, I noticed the visibility of my surroundings was poor. The sentence is part of the puzzle, yes. The building was surrounded by leaves. The old structure was basically buried in a forest of trees about as tall as itself. There were branches poking into the exposed hallway. It almost felt like they'd reach out and grab me if I wasn't careful. I kind of felt like I was in an overgrown ruin. I turned around and saw the room and Chiemi just as I left them. Yep, it was all real. I closed the door. There were other rooms in his building. That made me wonder if they were all occupied. Hell, I wondered the same thing about the area in general. I pushed the branches aside to see if there were any other buildings nearby. Suddenly, something entered my vision. Oh, random traditionally dressed girl. That's the narrator, by the way. I'll give you a second as I take this drink here. It didn't feel right. Something that shouldn't have been there. The leaves I moved revealed a woman clad in curious clothing. The moment I recognized her as such, she opened her closed eyes. Did our eyes meet? Then you have the Pokemon battle. Another strong wind. I shielded my face from the spray of raindrops. She's gone. When I looked outside again, the woman was nowhere in sight. Was that an illusion? If not, then what? What kind of place was this? It could have been a real Hicksville, a marginal village, a bunch of actual ruins, or an illegal settlement. I had some theories, but I set them aside for now. It seemed like a place worth exploring regardless. Can't wait for ZA. I'll have to watch through you. I don't think I'm gonna dive into it. I went down the stairs and found no sign of the woman, or anyone else for that matter. It's like a six apartment building. For all we know, she could be the only inhabitant in there. A short distance away from the building, I turned around, and sure enough, it was pretty much covered with trees. This building is literally in the forest. I went to the place where I saw the woman. There were footprints in the grass here. Maybe I'd find her if I followed them? They led me to an open area. It was unused, but it looked like someone was trying to do something with it. Was it supposed to be a construction site? Even if it was clearly abandoned. There were large rocks and lots of sediment near the prefab. From what I could tell, there had been a giant landslide which forced them to stop construction. The fact that plant growth was still minimal meant that it happened fairly recently. The footprints seemed to be going downhill to the next site. Following them, I finally saw that something that could be called civilization. There was a set of paddy fields with houses nearby. So this actually was a settlement. What a relief. I decided to keep following the footprints and approach the settlement. Civilization? McDonald's! Yes, exactly. I'm gonna get me the chicken nuggies and McDouble. I came across another unpaved path that was clearly used by people and cars. It was lined with weeds and bushes reaching up to my waist. It was home to caterpillars and grasshoppers, among other things. Spiders were no exception. There was no shortage of insects there, so it was a good place for the net. I wasn't particularly scared of spiders, but I didn't like them either. At least they were just harmless orb weavers. Regardless, I avoided these bushes. Just in case, and followed the path like the good city boy I was. There was a large boulder surrounded by grass. It was strangely tall, making it look like it was put there by people. On its dewy surface there was a gray tree frog, ready to go after the many insects scattered about. I walked a bit further and came across a house with a small field nearby. The field's location made it safe to assume it belonged to the inhabitants. If there were inhabitants anyways, I couldn't see anyone. Just like always, there was grass everywhere. There was another boulder standing next to the house. This one was obviously placed there by a human hand. What was the point? Was it a monument or something? The footprints continued into the field. The wet mud in the field was full of small, young, but healthy-looking rice plants. If you ignored the standing boulders in the area, the place looked like a normal farming village. I was both relieved and worried at the same time. From what I saw, there weren't any other buildings besides the ones in this settlement. Everything beyond was just mountains, meaning that this place was completely isolated. And I was a complete outsider. There was no way things would go well if I ran into a random local. I belatedly crouched to hide myself a bit. It was probably the best for me to go back. Chammy might have been looking for me. Suddenly, I heard a sound. It's like bells. I looked for its source and found a speaker on a wooden utility pole in the middle of a small plaza. A morning broadcast? I'd never heard this tune before. It was cheerful at first, but had some parts that seemed really dark. I found it unsettling. Perplexed, I stopped walking, and what happened next made me hide myself. There was a person in the area densely surrounded by houses, but they weren't normal. What was that appearance? Jump scare music. What was that appearance? I don't know, dude. They just have like a thing over their head. Don't be rude. What was that on her face? While I was a fair distance away, I could see an old woman with some sort of cloth over her face shakily walk out from between the buildings. Oddly enough, there were boulders even there. But even weirder was the fact that she walked up to one of them, lightly joined her hands, and bowed her head before it, her face still hidden. Then, all was silence. It actually looked like she was revering it. To me, it looked like she was praying to it. This is bad. This is really bad. You're in the Resident Evil 4 village, my guy. You need to get out. I'd wandered into a settlement with unique culture, to put it lightly. Forget causing trouble. An outsider like me could get killed here. I just turned around and ran for it. Yeah, get your bike and walk like the 3 miles back to the convenience store or whatever. I dashed up the hill, past the house, through the construction site, until I arrived back at the apartment building. Chammy looked like a relatively reasonable person. Maybe she could tell me what was up? It just hit me that the way she described this place was somewhat weird. She basically said it wasn't normal. Flashback. Or maybe you're a serial killer who brought me here just to get me drunk and kill me. Oh, so I'm an evil mountain witch now. Sounds great. I'll kill you real good. Splish splish. No way. What if she was actually the bait they used to lure outsiders here? Eventually, the broadcast stopped. Chammy still hadn't come out of her room. She didn't even respond when I knocked on the door or called out to her. I didn't have to worry about this, right? That just made my inexplicable unease grew worse. What if this was a trap? Was I in a dangerous situation? I'm in danger. I had to talk to her. If she was a normal person, anyway. Okay. What are the chances we open this door and it ends up being the she's changing in the living room situation, right? Maybe my best option was to run away right now. I wouldn't know where to run. I couldn't remember the path we'd taken here. I was pretty sure we went on that. I was pretty sure we'd went uphill. We'd went uphill. Weird phrasing, but whatever. So maybe I have to go down? If I avoided the settlement and went back to the mountain stream, I could escape by following the wild roads. That was my best option, even with the difficulties considered. Thankfully, I'd taken my bag with me. I took out a 5,000 yen note and put it in Chiemi's newspaper box. It was payment for last night's beer. $50. If we're going by the 100 yen equals $1, but I know that recent economic times have changed that, so. It's still quite a bit of change, though. The moment I turned around to take my leave, the door to the room next to the staircase opened slightly with a creak. It's like $35. Yeah, it's still quite a bit of change. The door to the room next to the staircase opened up slightly with a creak. Oh, there is someone living there. I saw an eye glaring at me through the gap. Ah! Her high-pitched scream pierced my eardrums. I screamed too, scared shitless, and ran for it. Suddenly, I stepped into the wet hallway floor at a bad angle. And I fell. No, he twisted them ankles. It's over for him. Thud, thud, thud.
Haru-chan! どうした?
Haru-chan? What's wrong?
誰このおっちゃん
Whoa, who's this old guy?
あなた、誰ですか?
Who are you?
っていうか、大丈夫ですか?
And are you alright? The reasonable sounding voice prompted me to shake off the pain and raise my head. Oh. I was gonna say they're police, but it's probably a school uniform, huh? I'm gonna drink some water. There were two boys in formal-looking school uniforms.
大丈夫ですか?
Are you alright? He repeated the question.
ああ、ちょっと驚いただけで。
Yeah, I was just startled.
おっちゃんちえねえの友達
You're friends with Chiene? Chiene?
ああ、ちえみちゃんのことか。
You mean Chiemi-chan?
大学の知り合いですか?
Are you friends of hers from college?
聞いてなかった。
She didn't tell us anyone was visiting.
いや、いろいろあって助けられたんだ。怪しいものじゃないんだ。怪しく見えるだろうけど。
Oh, I just got into some trouble and she helped me out. There's nothing shady about me, though I know that's hard to believe.
怪しいなおっちゃん
It really is, old man.
どうすればいいのかな。とりあえず、名前は房石春明と言います。
Man, how do I handle this? Anyway, my name's Haruaki Fusaishi.
僕は織部安永です。
I'm
こっちは
Yasunaga Oribe.
鴨志田近持。
This is Chikamochi Kamoshida.
モッチーだ
This Mochi's fine. Good to know. If I called him that, maybe he'd stop calling me old man. I was only 24. Yeah, he's only 24.
それでこっちが。はるちゃん何してんの?
And this is Haru-chan. What are you doing?
だって知らない人が
We don't know him. Penguin Club 18 plus members. We don't know him. Apparently this Haru-chan was the person who looked at me through the gap in the door and screamed.
とりあえず大丈夫そうだから出ておいでよ。
He seems safe. Come on out. A moment later, she slammed the door shut, and after a few more moments of hesitation, opened it again. Oh. He's cute. Got the school uniform, braided hair. I don't know what's going on with that armband, but, you know, whatever. Haru Makishima. Whoa. Makishima, does that make her then, yeah, that makes her sister to, Mochi. Got it. Gonna have to keep these relationship charts, I'm gonna have to keep these relationship charts ready. Just like Xenoblade. She's giving me the, really? This game? Really? She looked like a student too, except her fashion sense was exceptionally flashy.
あなた
Who are
誰
you?
ですか
房石春明といって、この近くでバイクで事故って、芹沢千恵美さんに助けられたんだ。
Name's Haruaki Fusaishi. I crashed my motorbike nearby, and Chiemi Serizawa-san helped me out.
それってもしかして昨日の夜ちえねえの部屋に
Wait, are you saying you spent the night in her room?
うん。止めてもらった。
Yeah, She cut my words short with an ear-piercing shriek.
通りで騒がしかったと思った何
Oh, she's mad. She real mad. So that's why it was so noisy. What were you thinking? You're not supposed to enter an unmarried girl's room. It's indecent.
ああ、うん。それはその通りで、僕もちょっと躊躇はしたんだけど、ちえみちゃんが親切で。
Yeah, I was hesitant too, but Chiemi-chan was kind enough to let me in.
ちえみちゃん、あれなれしそれじゃあもしかしてちえ姉が出てこないのって。
Why are you acting like you've known her your whole life? Wait, she's not getting out. Don't tell me you...
ドアに5000円挟んであるじゃん。
Oh no, they found the money. There's a 5,000 yen note on the door. Yeah.
夫妻さん、まさか。
Don't tell me you.
違う。単に昨日お酒をおごられたからそのお返しで。
No. She gave me lots of booze. I'm just paying her back for that.
ちえ姉の体が5000円ってそんな安いわけないでしょ。
Chiena's body is worth way more than that.
ただれてるな。
How dissolute. The hell were these kids saying?
ああ、君、助けてくれないか？
Hey, can you help me out?
初対面で女性の部屋でお酒を飲んだんですか？そしてちえ姉は出てこない。
You drank with a girl you just met? And she's not coming out. Crap, I had no allies here.
一体何事。
What's going on? And so, the subject of the conversation joined in.
おお、ちえみちゃん、君からも事情を。
Oh no, I chose the perv option. We're fucked. We are so cooked. Oh, Chiemi-chan, could you tell me what happened last night? Could you tell them what happened last night? Something was off about her aura. Oh no, we're so fucked. I gotta drink tea. Something was off about her aura. What happened to the lively girl she'd been yesterday? She's probably hungover, my dude.
ちえ姉、まさか。
Chiene, did you...
恥ずかしいとこを見られちゃった。
Man, this is embarrassing.
おお。
Whoa.
いや、ちょっと待って、ちょっと。
Wait, hold on, stop.
もう嫁いけない。
I can't be a bride anymore. No! No! No, we're so fucked. Man, what a mess. Though Chieme's face was all pale, she was actually grinning. She obviously had a bad hangover, but that didn't stop her from messing around. After calming everyone down, Chiemi explained what actually happened. How we met in the middle of the night, how she let me stay out of goodwill, how we drank ourselves silly, and how nothing happened between us. Thank God.
いやー、久々に深酒しちゃって思いっきり入っちゃったよ。春明さん、お見苦しいとこ申し訳ない。
Man, it's been so long since I drank that much. Guess I wasn't prepared for it, and puked it all out. Sorry you had to see that, Haruaki-san.
ああ、いや、それはいいんだけど。
Yeah, I don't mind it. That Haru-chan girl still looked at me funny. Dude, not just looking at you funny, she is glaring you down. She's gonna cut you. And she might kill you if she's the murderer. The werewolf, as it were.
非常識。
Absurd.
ああ、うん、申し訳ない。昨日は本当に疲労困憊でね。つい好意に甘えてしまったんだ。
Anyway, sorry. I was so tired yesterday that I couldn't refuse her kindness.
まあ、知恵ねえだしな。雑把だよな。
Well, this is Chiene we're talking about. She does whatever she wants.
事情も事情だし、年寄りたちも納得するかな。
He's got good reasons for being here too, so maybe the elders will understand? I mean, what is our reason for being here really, right? The only thing we know is that he has a complicated past that he wanted to run away from, and he was just driving aimlessly, asked a convenience store lady at the middle, late at night about where to go, and ended up getting lost and crashed his bike on like a little hill or whatever. I don't know if that counts as good reason for being here, you know? If it were me, I'd be like, yo, this was great. Nice meeting y'all. I'm gonna get the hell out of here and leave you to your boulder worshipping, you know? It's not my business what you guys do, but I'm gonna leave here hopefully in one piece. Laters.
ちなみに 会ったのってどこです？
Where did you find him anyway?
それはね、
Well,
下の方の河原だよ。
next to the river, further down. My words made everyone change their expressions. Mochi is like doubtful. Oribe is like, dude, what? And the girl who wants to kill us is like, you were where? My words made everyone change their expressions.
それはちょっと。
That's a bit
大騒ぎだ。
a big deal, says Mochi.
2日連続で
Oh, Haru.
二人までな
Haru-chan.
んて。
2 people just over 2 days.
もしかしてまずいこと言った？
Did I say something bad?
はあ、まあいずれバレることよ。さっきあれだけ大騒ぎしちゃったから休みず中に知れちゃったろうし。
It was gonna get out sooner or later. We made quite a scene, so I wouldn't be surprised if everyone in Yasumizu already knows.
君、2日連続で2人もって何のこと？
Hey, what did you mean by 2 people over just 2 days?
触らないで。汚い。
Don't touch me. You're filthy. I wasn't trying to touch her, and I wasn't filthy. Sure, I hadn't had a bath in over a day, but still.
君、何が騒ぎになるの？
Hey, you. Why is it a big deal? He goes to Mochi now.
タエバあたりが拒否ってなる。
Taiba's gonna go ee. Well, that sure sounded bad.
詳しい話を聞かせてくれない？
Can you tell me more? As he now looks to Oribe. Should have just started with him.
ちょっと説明は難しいんですけど、まあここは田舎なんで町といろいろ違うってことですよ。
It's a bit complicated for now. Or it's a bit complicated. For now, just keep in mind that this is the countryside. Things are different here than in the city. This guy here was Oribe-kun. Ignore Chiemi, and he was the easiest person to talk to.
どうすればいいかな？
What should I do?
まあちえみが何とかしましょう。学生諸君はとりあえずご飯行かないと。
Just leave it to me, alright? It's time for the students to eat, isn't it? What? We are in... Okay, it's Monday. Monday morning, so that means that the kids are at school, we're coming to school, taking lunch. They're not giving us like a time frame, but morning, it's saying.
この混乱には乗るっきゃない。
But I want to see where the mess goes.
乗るっきゃなくないもっち。とりあえず行っちゃいな。
No, you
私らちょ
don't.
っと遅れていくから。
Just go already. We'll catch up.
まあちょっと時間ずらした方がいいよね。揉めそうだし。
Well, I guess it's best to go separately. There's probably going to be some disagreements.
さすがやすくん、察しがいいぞ。ごめんけど、二人のお守りよろしくね。
Yeah, I knew you'd understand, Yasukun. Take care of them for me, alright? Sure. You know what? You know what I was thinking? Before we get to another decision tree, I should start writing things down in my detective's journal, which is just a notepad that I have here. I could type it all out, but you know, it's more aesthetically pleasing if I write things down. You know, makes me feel more like a detective. Let's see here. So the first decision we made, decision tree, is that we went with the pervy option. Pervy option, and then I'll have like an arrow pointing to the next decision we make. And that way it'll make more sense. Should I keep tabs on the characters too? They haven't really given me much to go on, right? Except that Mochi's like a kid, Oribe is like the older student, and Haru is the older sister to Mochi. That's about all I got to go on. Oh, and Haru hates our guts. Because we were with Chiemi last night. Sure.
もう知恵ね、子供扱いはやめてよ。
She's saying this to Chiemi. Stop treating me like a child.
そうだ、うんこしてやるぞ。
Yeah, I swear I'll poop on you, says Mochi. I like Mochi. I sure hope he's not the killer.
ほらほら行くぞ、モッチーにハルちゃん。
Let's just get going, you two. And so, the students walked off towards the stairs. It was kind of easy to tell what sort of relationship they had. Anyway.
彼らがこの建物の他の住人？
So they live in this building too?
そういうこと。学生寮だからね。ここ
Yep. It's a student dorm, you know? A student dorm? In this Hicksville? Hey, yo, don't judge, my dude, you know? Still, my senses have betrayed me. There actually were other people here.
ちなみに春明さん、他の人と出会ってトラブったりしてないよね。
By the way, you didn't run into anyone else and get in trouble, right? Chiemi is asking us.
うん。一応それ警戒してたから。
Yeah, I was careful on that front.
ならよかった。よし、ちょっとしたら食堂に行きましょう。
Good, let's get ready to go to the dining hall.
あ、朝食？
Oh, for breakfast?
の、朝食は今から食べてください。食堂へは一応面通しをしに行くの。
Nope, eat your breakfast now. We'll go to the dining hall to introduce you.
え、誰と？
Huh? To who? Everyone in the village, duh.
よそ者がサラナガからやってきたってことに文句を言いそうな人たち。
To whoever has a problem with an outsider coming from Saranaga. Oh, so like that Thai Ba person, huh?
お世話になります。
I'm in your hands then.
いいってことです。その代わり、朝のことは秘密で。
It's fine. If you're that grateful, keep what happened this morning a secret.
そりゃもちろん。ところで、サラナガって何？あの河原？
Sure thing. What's Saranaga anyway? The river?
そう、サラナガの瀬っていう川だけど、あの辺まとめてサラナガって呼ぶの。ちょっと曰くのある場所でね。
Yep, the river is called Saranaga Rapids, but the area around it is called Saranaga. The place has some cultural significance.
曰く。
It does?
うん。あの川は汚れていて、死人が帰ってくるみたいな伝説がね。
Yep, they say it's a corrupt place where the dead return from the other side. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Hey, this guy returned from the fucking river Styx. Hey, we're cool with him, right? No. we're definitely gonna get harassed for that. And if two people have been found in that river, you know, it can't be good. There's gotta be some kind of sign or whatever. Oh. So that's why they reacted like that.
他にもその手のルールというか、しきたりみたいなのが？
Any other rules or customs I should be aware of?
たくさんあります。なので基本、ちえみちゃんにお任せを。
Oh, there's lots. So just leave everything to me, alright? Gladly. On all fronts.
ちなみに、身の危険とかは？
If I may ask, am I in danger?
ないない。でも、いろいろ不愉快な思いをする前に、早く出て行けた方がいいかも。
Nope, but you should try to escape before something unpleasant happens to you.
そのための根回しに行くと。
And you're gonna lay the groundwork for that, right?
そうそう。
Yep. The settlement I'd strayed to was a weird place, but at least the guide was reliable. And she wanted me to leave ASAP, huh? That was depressing. My dude, you are in danger. if you haven't caught on already. Chami gave me some cup ramen for breakfast. She boiled the water in a small electric kettle. The girl herself was too hungover to eat anything. I did take the opportunity to pay her back for last night's drink in person, though. Then we made our way to the dining hall.
この岩って何なの？
What are these boulders?
一応お守りみたいなもの。
They're like charms, I guess? They've been here forever.
よそでは見たことないよ。
I've never seen anything like them anywhere else.
ああ、言われたらそうかも。
Oh yeah, I guess they're kind of unique to the area. She led me along a narrower path than I'd followed earlier. It didn't seem like any cars used this one. It was very farmy, I guess. This area was also littered with those boulders. Some were cracked, broken, or half buried in the fields. They were clearly religious symbols, but it didn't look like they were that important these days. Or were they? Now that I knew I was safe, I once again became curious about this place.
人だ。
Oh, there's a person. He was working in the field.
たくみ兄ちゃんだ。おはよ
Oh, that's Takumi-ni-chan. Good morning. Jamie waved her hand. The man responded, but then froze mid-wave.
う。じゃあ行きましょう。
Let's go.
いいの？多分あの人、 僕の存在に驚いたんじゃ。
Are you sure we should? That guy looked pretty surprised to see me.
大丈夫。どうせ後で食堂に来るから、説明はその時にするってことで。
Don't worry, he'll be at the dining hall soon. We'll explain things then. Well, if she said so. As an outsider, I had no choice but to rely on her. Or you could just leave, I suppose. But then that'd be rude. This was part of the village I saw this morning, where the buildings were more densely packed. Damn, they don't care about paving any walkways or nothing. They're like, the grass just comes up to the front door, and we let nature take its course. I didn't notice it back then, but it was actually kind of weird. Basically, it felt desolate. The wooden bungalows, in particular, were more or less overgrown, buried in tall grass or other greenery. If this was all I saw of the village and someone told me it was abandoned, I'd have easily believed them. However, two of the buildings stood out. There was a hall right beyond the hill. It wasn't that big, but it looked grand and well maintained. The other building was obviously the dining hall. It looked a bit dirty, but I could tell there were people inside. From what I could tell, it was the most lively place in this poor excuse of a community. Poor excuse of a community. Wow. What did they say the other one was us? There was a hall. Okay, so there's like a grand hall or a village hall, and then there's like the dining hall. Suddenly, the three students walked out, chatting about something.
Ah, Chiene. Fusaishi-san.
Ah, Chine and Fusaishi-san.
再度おはよう。ちょっと遅くない？
Morning again. Aren't you late?
モッチーがバカなことばっか言って遅くなっちゃったんだもん。
We took forever because Mochi doesn't stop saying nonsense.
そうだ、僕が悪だ。味噌汁をよこせ。
Yes, I am evil. Give me miso soup.
まあ早足なら間に合うでしょ。みんなしっかり勉強しといで。
Oh, you'll make it if you hurry. Behave in class, you guys. Half dashing, the three ran up to the path we came from.
みんな高校生なんだ。
They're all in high school, huh?
そう。山をぐーっと登ったところに分校があるんだ。
Yep.
私も3年前まで通ってたな。
Yep, there's a branch school all the way up the mountain. I was going there myself 3 years ago.
やたら不便だね。
Sounds like a hassle.
それでもみんなあの寮に住める分優遇されてるんだけど。
It's not all bad. At least we get to live in that dorm. Chiemi was entirely straight-faced. There wasn't even a hint of a smile.
さあ、気合を入れて入りましょう。
Alright, let's get psyched. Now I'm thinking about, like, what's the importance of that dorm? And what's the alternative, I guess? If living in a dorm is, like, a bonus, right?
そうしましょう。
Yay!
気合入んない。
I'm not convinced. We laughed a little and passed the curtain. Alright, time to meet the people, I guess.
あら、
Welcome. Oh. The inside was as aged as the outside, but it looked well maintained.
ちえみちゃん、お客さん？
Is he a visitor, Chiemi-chan? The hostess-looking lady asked. Though somewhat aged and fatigued, she was definitely beautiful. Yo, MILF spotted? Sorry, had to do it. Well, I don't see a ring either, so that means she is available and on the market. Sorry, that'll be the last time. Anyway, though somewhat aged and fatigued, she was definitely beautiful. There were two others beside her. One was a lady in her 70s or 80s. She was probably the one I saw this morning. The silhouette matched. The other, a man who seemed a bit younger than her, probably in his late 60s. He's got that getup, that old man getup, strong man, kind of like the guy from Grand Blue. What's his name? But they were just sitting there. There was a menacing aura about them.
紹介するね。房石春明さん。
Soras,
昨日の
yeah.
晩、皿長で迷ってたのを千恵美が保護しました。
I'll introduce him. This is Haruaki Fusaishi. I found him at Saranaga last night, and I took him into my care. The reactions were powerful. The MILF lady is looking at us in disgust, almost. The grandma is shooketh. The lady gasped, while the two elders rose to their feet with alarm. The tension that was already there at the moment, I walked in, reached its peak.
気にするのもわかるけど、 これは単なる偶然です。
I know you're concerned, but this is just a coincidence.
あの子と違ってこの人は素性が明らかだし、バイクで旧道に突っ込んで事故ったって非常に気の毒な事情もある。
Unlike the little girl, he knows exactly where he came from. He went on an old path with his bike and crashed. It's actually really sad.
そんなわけで我々としてはこの人がちゃんと帰れるように手伝ってあげるのがいいとちえみは思います。
That's why I think we should help him leave.
どうですか皆様方。
What do you think? After saying all that, Jamie fell silent. The ball was in their court now.
それは大変。
Now, that is troubling. The lady voiced a harmless opinion, careful not to upset the old people. It was pretty clear who was in charge. They were elders in more ways than one.
ちーちゃんはなんで夜にサラナガなんぞ言っとったかね。
Chi-chan, why did you even go to Saranaga at night?
虫の知らせかな。前の日にあんなことあったし眠れなかったから。
I had a hunch, I guess. You know what happened. I couldn't fall asleep. Okay. Detective hat time. She says she had a hunch. She couldn't fall asleep. She was restless. So what? She was gonna take a walk over to Saranaga, otherwise known as the River Styx for their little village, right? River of the Dead and whatnot. Also, we gotta think about the fact that we had encountered a flashlight, fully functional. It seemed fully charged, and it was on, meaning someone else was at Saranaga that night. Now, did Chiemi drop that flashlight and try to go back to retrieve it? But she would know her way around, I'm guessing, even in the dark, maybe. So that means someone who's not from here, perhaps, was using the flashlight and got gotted somehow. Or someone else was sneaking about, and Chiemi was trying to find that person, and the other person being chased had to drop their flashlight in a hurry. But this is like a mental note, a little flag of suspect on Chiemi, because we don't know what her motive was. But the fact that she was out there, and the fact that she did not acknowledge that she found the flashlight there, means it's a little suspect, a little sus, as the kids say. Are we the Gozu Wolf all along? You know what? For the purposes of this show, or this series, this game, I should get like an actual werewolf sound. Mental note for myself: a werewolf sound, Mortal Kombat evil laugh, and we emoji clapping. Just cause I needed one for a while. I've had a hunch, I guess. You know what happened? I couldn't fall asleep.
それじゃあやっぱり読み人じゃないんかね。
Then he's gotta be a Yomibito.
やめ、タイバ
Shut it, Taiba. In the conversation, it was pretty clear that something had happened before I arrived here. It was probably similar to what happened with me. She had mentioned some little girl. Perhaps there was a child who'd wandered here like I did? According to Jamie, the Saranaga Rapids were a place of significance around here. It was a place from which dead people come to life or whatever. So this is Tai. So this Tai must have been the E lady that boy mentioned. And the Yomibito must be a term for the dead who came from there. Apparently, the primary goal here was convincing these elders to approve helping me. Like, you could just say, like, I need to go. Like, I'm not gonna bother you guys. I'm gonna let you do your thing, you know. I wasn't even here. You can forget all about me. I'll forget all about this place. Just, I'm gonna walk away from this place and never come back, right? And then just slowly walk away, right? Unless a Yomibito has to be, like, killed because it'll kill everyone else, you know? Like, it's evil and therefore we have to kill it kind of deal, you know? So they might not let him go.
おい、どっから来た
Hey you, where you from? The old man's voice put my derailed mind back on track.
あ、はい、東京です。
Oh, I'm from Tokyo.
いくつじゃ
How old are you?
年は24です。
24.
地位より上じゃが。
Older in chi, eh? He chuckled. I immediately realized he was taking a jab at me for hiding behind a younger girl.
申し遅れました。房石春明です。芹沢さんにも紹介された通り、バイクで事故って迷い込みました。
Nice to meet you. I'm Haruaki Fusaishi. Like she said, I wandered into town after my bike got crashed.
どうやら僕は、ここでは異分子のようで、変なことを言ったりしたりして、皆さんに迷惑かけたくないなと。
I seem to be a total outsider here, so I don't want to speak out of turn.
それで、芹沢さんに紹介をお願いしたんですが、僕から改めてお願いします。
That's why I asked her to talk on my behalf, but I think I should say something at least.
すぐ出て行きますから、それまでは僕の存在を多めに見ていただけないかと。
I won't trouble you any longer than I have to, so I would be grateful if you pardon my brief stay.
それと、僕を助けてくれた芹沢さんを責めないであげてください。
And please don't blame her for helping me.
春明さん。
Hey, Haruaki-san.
おそらく芹沢さんは、ここの常識を外れたところで僕を助けてくれたんだと思うんです。学生たちもみんな驚いてた。
I think she went against the village customs by helping me out. The students also seemed surprised.
まあ
My.
これでも大人です。自
That
分
was
の
the
責任
MILF
は
for you
自
guys
分
who are
で取
tabbed
りま
out.
すし、皆さんにかけた迷惑は可能な限り償います。
I'm an adult. I'm willing to take responsibility for any trouble I caused, as best I can.
ですので、どうかお願いします。
So, please put up with me. I bowed my head.
ちゃんとしとる、タイバ
He seems alright to me, Taiba.
あたしゃスカンはね、そんなに髪茶色に染めてから。
I don't know about that. Look at his hair, all colored brown, says the grandma. Shit, I forgot. I didn't even look presentable to more traditionalist people. We don't know the old man's name. I was gonna say, are they like brother sister? But apparently, I don't know. We don't know yet. I forgot. I didn't look very presentable to more traditionalist people.
ー。よそは皆こうよ。はよ返せばえ
Outsiders are all like that. Just help them out of here, I guess. I says.
ほいじゃ好きにしなさいね。
Do what you want. Now they are. Oh, no, we still don't know his name. I was like, they are sisters, brother sister, but we don't know. I guess I got their half-hearted approval.
え。春明。春か。うちの孫も春じゃ。紛らわしい。
Haruaki Haru, eh? Like my granddaughter. What a mess.
あ、もしかして
Oh, so that means you're.
そう、春ちゃんのおじいさんの牧島勘三さんよ。
Yep, he's Haru-chan's grandpa. Kanzo Makishima. Different last names though, huh? Haruaki Haru. What did he mean by this?
春明。春か。うちの孫も春じゃ。紛らわしい。
Because our name isn't Haruaki, right? Oh, no, it is. Haruaki Fusaishi. So that means... Haruaki Haru. So that means we share a last name with, Haru? Is that right? Kanzo Makishima. I should have written all their names down as soon as I got them.
どうも。
A pleasure. What do you say before that? Haru-chan's grandpa, Kanzo Makishima. I still don't know what else to say. Haru-chan and I weren't on the best terms so far. Anyway, it seemed like we were past the difficult part.
皿長に突っ込んだか。
Drove into Saranaga, eh?
いえ、コンビニで道を聞いた後、脇道に入って未舗装になったところで滑り落ちて横転しました。
No, actually, I asked for directions at a convenience store, went down a side road, and ended up losing control on an unpaved section.
で、皿長登ったか。なぜ途中で引き返さねえ。
And then you went in Saranaga. Why didn't you turn around? He wasn't impressed by my choice of actions. It just hit me that I had no idea how much time passed between the crash and my meeting with Chiemi.
わしと匠で見てきちゃる。
Takumi and I will go see it.
匠は田を見よるわよ。
Takumi's working the field.
タイバ追い出す思うて手伝わせ。
It's to get him to leave. Let the boy out.
カンちゃんはいっ つもそうね。
You never change, Kanchan. Kanchan?
ばあちゃん、おやさん、どうした？
Oh, yo, he's built. He's jacked up. What's going on here? We're joined by a new inhabitant.
ちえみ、こいつは？
Jimmy, who's this guy?
あ、たくみ姉ちゃん。
Oh, Takumi Nichan. Oh, so he was the one we saw in the field. Wow, he sure looked big from up close. All that field work was good for his muscles, clearly. And from what I could tell, he was in his 30s. Yo, 30s gang, let's go. He is ripped, though. That farmer strength. As Chiemi introduced me and told him of my situation, I found out his name. Takumi Muro.
ああ、そいつは災難だったな。
Man, that must have been hard.
ああ、おやさん。
So, old man Kanzo,
わしとお前で拾う。
we'll pick it up. Alright, before we continue, I should actually write down these names and like a precursory detail about them, right? We'll start with this guy, why not? Should I start this on a new page? I feel like we should. Characters. Right? What's our name? We'll start with the MC. We are Haruaki Fusaishi. Haruaki Fusaishi equals MC. And then we have Chiemi, right? Chiemi Serizawa. Serizawa equals cute tomboy girl. Tomboy girl slash tour guide in village, right? Then we have, might as well start with the old people. We have Kanzo Makishima. Kanzo Makishima equals old gruff man. Tai Yamawaki. Tai Yamawa. Oh. I'm like writing on top of my keyboard, so I'm hitting some buttons here. Tai Yamawaki equals grandma. Grandma. I want to confirm Haru's last name before we write it down. And then we have Takumi Muro. Takumi Muro. Tall, buff guy. Alright. Because I don't think the game has like a relationship chart or like character descriptor or anything. Let me check the... Because it says Y for chart, right? But that's just giving me the scenario chart. Oh, and I can save here. Cool. But then we could also just do it through the menu. Menu, next, chart, keys, option, log. Yeah, nah. Yeah, so there's no character descriptor in game, so we're gonna have to either rely on the old noggin here or write stuff down, and I'm gonna choose to write some down. You'll be heading to bed. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Thanks for coming, SF. Let's see. We'll pick it up. Oh, I'm totally lost. Chiemi says Good for his muscles. Takumi Muro. Man, that must have been hard. So old man Kanzo. We'll pick it up. Thought so. Tai Bachan, wait a bit while I help this guy. I already spread the stuff on the field, so I'll mow the grass at noon.
匠は優しいね。
What a good boy.
こんなもんなんでもないって。すぐ何もなかったようにできるからよ。
It ain't a big deal. I'll be so quick you'll think nothing happened. He seems like a decent dude. It's always the nice guys you least suspect. So maybe he's the werewolf.
そうね。
Good to hear. Nothing, eh?
お兄ちゃんや。
Boy.
え、僕ですか？
Me?
はい。
What is it?
ここは安水言うてね。あんまりええ場所じゃないんよ。
You're in Yasumizu. It ain't a good place. Huh? It was the place that wasn't good? Not my presence here?
あたしらもよそのもんが苦手だし、よそのもんも触れんがいい。
We don't like outsiders here, and outsiders should let sleeping dogs lie.
じゃから、はよ出てお行き。
So you should hurry and leave. That's
Aye.
the plan.
そのつもりです。
話はついた感じか。
So it's settled?
ありがとう匠兄ちゃん。
Yep, thanks Takumi-ni-chan. I was beginning to understand how things worked here. Although Kanzo Makishima's voice was the most powerful here, it was also important to get Tai-san's approval. Kanzo-san was probably in charge of tackling the settlement's practical problems, while Tai-san provided spiritual and moral direction. And when it was time to be civilized, Takumi came and convinced Tai-san acting as an intermediary. It looked like Takumi-san himself understood such subtleties, and Chiemi seemed to rely on this side of him.
はい、ここらで一つどうぞ。
Here you go. This is the MILF speaking now. The lady brought some tea to the old folk. Perfect timing.
おお、香織さん。俺には飯頼むぜ。
Oh, Kaori-san, looking forward to getting some food, says Takumi. So that was her name.
えへ朝早くからお疲れ様です。
Oh, okay. We got
お
a
願いしますからね。
we got a name. We got a name for the MILF. Kaori Oribe. Kaori. Ka-o-i-o-i-be equals MILF. Okay, and last name Oribe makes me think of the other dude who's also named Oribe, meaning that that's probably his mom or aunt, or perhaps a very older sister.
なーに、安水とばあちゃんと香織さんのためならへでもねえよ。
Oh, I didn't read her part. Sure, I'll make a lot. It'll be a reward for waking up early and working hard. Hey, I'm doing it for Yasumizu, Bachan, and you. It's nothing really.
まあ
Oh my. She seems really receptive to him. So, you know, maybe there's something going on there. These two sure seem to get along. They looked about the same age too.
さあ、お客さんもご飯
Oh, she's in her 30s? Let's go. Let's go. We love people in their 30s here. Would you like something to eat too?
あ、いえ、いただいてきたので。
No thank you. I already ate.
それじゃあお茶をどうぞ。おにぎりでもお出ししましょう。
Then here's some tea. I can also get you a light snack if you'd like. What would you say to some onigiri?
ああ、それは。
Oh, that would be...
ごめんなさい。ちょっと急ぎで電話借りていいかな、香織さん。
Sorry, can we borrow the phone? We need it quick. Oh?
それはいいけど、お茶くらいは。
Sure, but why not have some tea first?
ありがとう。でも本当緊急だから。行こう、春明さん。
Thanks, but it's urgent. Let's go, Haruaki-san. Sure. It didn't look like I could say no. Interesting. Excuse me. We went up to the nearby stairs to see what seemed like a living space. At the end of the creaky hallway, there was a black rotary phone, a rarity in this day and age.
これがここ、安水唯一の電話だから。
This is the only phone in all of Yasumizu, by the way. Seriously?
ちなみに、携帯電話はどのキャリアも通じませんので。
And not a single mobile service provider works in this area.
そうなのか。でもどこに電話しろって？
Really? Wait, who do you want me to call anyway? Ghostbusters!
ロードサービスとか保険とか、あと必要なら家族にも連絡。
Road service, insurance, stuff like that, and family if you have to. Oh, that made sense. Hell, I should have been the one to say that.
さっきも言ったけど、できるだけここを早く出られた方がいいから、使えるものは何でも使いましょう。
Like I said, it'd be best if you left as soon as possible, so you should use everything you have.
よそ者が歓迎されない場所だから？
Because outsiders aren't welcome here?
そういうことです。
Yep.
それ以上の詮索は無用と。
And I shouldn't pry any further, huh?
春明さんはとっても察しがいい。それはいいことだと思う。
Haruaki-san, I see you catch on quickly. That's good.
ただ、好奇心もとっても強く見える。
But you also seem really curious.
バレたか。
It shows, huh?
バレますとも。でも正直、あんまりいろいろ首突っ込まない方がいいかも。
Of course it does. Honestly though, you should avoid sticking your nose into things.
どうせすぐに別れるんだし。
Because we'll part ways soon anyway.
その通り。
Exactly.
なんだか寂しいな。
That's kinda sad.
お、ちえみちゃんのメアドご所も？
Oh, you want my contact info?
くれるならぜひ。
If you're willing to give it.
やったー。これで男友達53人
目。Yay, that makes you guy number 53 on the list.
テンションガタ落ちですわ。
Damn, if that ain't a letdown. We still went on to exchange our info. I can only hope that being number 53 wasn't as big a problem as it sounded.
それはともかく、個人的興味で言えば、何が問題になってて、どんな背景があるのか知りたいのだけど。
Anyway, I'd still like to know the reason why me being here is such a big deal.
おすすめしないな。
I don't recommend it.
なぜかな。
But why?
私が不愉快になるから。
Because it'd make me upset.
あんまり故郷が好きじゃない。
You don't like it here?
うん。正直、嫌い。
Yeah, you actually hate it.
ここの人とは仲良さそうに見えるけど。
You seem to get along with the people, though.
ああ、それは見えるだけですね。私相当の問題児だったんで、ご年配方とは結構気まずいよ。
That's just how it looks. I was a huge problem child, so I feel kinda awkward around the older folk here.
それに、パッと見はわからないいろんなしがらみもあるし。まあ、住人自体はそんなに嫌いじゃないけどね。
There's tons of things you can't see right away. Oh, but I can't say I actually hate the people. With that, I decided to stop prying about this place any further. I'd back away before she came to hate me.
あ、でも、一つだけ聞いていい？
Oh, can I ask you one more thing, though?
いい度胸。
Oh, gutsy. Go ahead.
室匠さんのこと好きだったりする？
Do you like that Takumi Muro guy?
え？私が？
What? Me? Like him?
うん。
Yeah.
さすがにそれはないな。匠兄ちゃんかっこいいけど、ごつすぎるし、10以上年違うし、対象外です。
No way. Takumi-chan's cool and all, but he's too rugged and over a decade older than me. He's out of my strike zone.
それに、匠兄ちゃんは昔から香織さん一筋だし。
And he's always only had eyes for Kaori-san. Kaori-san, who, by the way, is the MILF. Who is 30, I guess. I don't know if we can classify her as a MILF. She has MILF-like qualities. Let's go with that.
やっぱそうなんだ。結婚してるわけじゃないの？
It sure felt like it. Are they married or something?
うん。香織さん未亡人だから。
Kaori-san's a widow. Well, that seemed complicated. That aside, Chiami had been acting a bit strange. Why had she dragged me away from the tea? It seemed so awkward too. Assuming she had been jealous of Kaori-san and simply didn't want her to charm me, it would mean that she hadn't wanted me to drink the tea. Why? Also, why'd she feed me cup ramen if I could have just gotten the food at the dining hall? Looking too deep into things was part of my nature, though things were never as bad as I assumed. Except in this case. I went to call my insurance company where I found out something. Apparently, this village was hundreds of kilometers away from the nearest service station, meaning I was ineligible for the normal service and had to pay extra. and the extra was no small amount. It actually went over 100,000 yen. That's crazy. Also, I could have avoided this if I'd taken a more expensive plan. That was all my own fault for not taking the bike's salesman's advice. Shit. Well, okay, but like, realistically, how often do you end up in the rural town, right? Like, crashing your bike in the middle of, like, the middle of nowhere, let's say, to the point where you would need this extra plan, right? I feel like you would just have to take the bullet, bite the bullet, and take the more expensive service, just so you don't have to end up spending more over time. That's just, you know, my analytical side here. I said I would consider it and hung up. Then I went back to the dining hall. Oh, so he didn't actually order the service. He was just gonna think about it. Huh? Where'd everyone go? The customers had changed completely. Tai-san, Kanzo-san, and Takumi-san were gone now. They were replaced by a caricature of juvenile delinquents. Who the fuck are you? This guy's got the frosted tips, the spiky hair, and he's got the earrings. And he doesn't got a shirt, he's got a jacket on. He shouted at me. He seemed like he was trying too hard. He then slammed his bowl and chops on the table and stood up to intimidate me. I'm Haruaki Fusaishi. The hell? You wanna go? You wanna go, bro? Goodness, Yoshitsugu. You don't talk like that to someone you just met. Shut up, hag. Chiene, the hell's with this asshole? Oh, the hell's this asshole? Called her a hag. Still has that MILF potential. Haruaki-san, a traveler who crashed his bike. Boy, was that introduction half-assed. Let me introduce him to you. This is Kaori Oribe and her second son, Yoshitsugu-kun. Yasunaga's the first. Or Yasunaga-kun's the first. Ah, yes, here we go. Family lore expansion. She is indeed a MILF. First of all, MILF confirmed. Let me write that down. Let me underline MILF. MILF. Alright. And then she has... I should hold on, I'm doing some organizing here in my notepad. Actual physical notepad, because I feel like writing stuff down like a real detective, right? MILF has two sons. Has two sons. Yoshitsugu. Yoshitsugu. And Yasunaga. There we go. Then I'll make a further entry for Yoshitsugu Oribe. Yoshitsugu Oribe. Oribe equals what's his aesthetic? What's his look? He's kind of like school, like delinquent, right? Delinquent punk slash delinquent. There we go. Updated the book. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 characters. The 3 are the students that I have not written down on. Alright. Kaori Oribe and her second son, Yoshitsugu, and Yasunaga's the first.
Yasunaga-kun te asa no kare?
Yasunaga-kun? The guy you introduced me to this morning? Yep, they may not look like it at first, but they're alike, don't you think? The Oribes. What an unprecedented family. Oh, what an unpredictable family. Stop talking about bro, you ugly bitch. What an unpredictable family. Stop talking about bro, you ugly bitch.
そう言われてもな、モテちゃうからな、ちえ姉ちゃんは。
Call me that all you want. I'm confident in my popularity. And from what I'd seen, that confidence was well justified. Fuck back off to the city, you idiot. Stupid dumbass.
どうしよう、春明さん。バカは否定できないかも。
Oh no, Haruaki-san. I don't think I can argue with that.
なんとちえみちゃんはバカだったのか。よーし、バカバカ。
What, are you an idiot? Alrighty then. Stupid. You're stupid.
え、ひどい。
Oh, how mean.
言ってやろうぜ、よしつぐくん。バカバカ。
Join me, Yoshitsugu-kun. Stupid. Stupid. I like the Japanese way of doing it though. Baka, 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 baka. You know?
なんなんだよてめえ。チエネバカにしてんじゃねえよ。
Huh? What the hell? Don't talk shit about Chiene. You're pretty conflicted, aren't you?
ごめんちえみちゃん。
He said that in his
本
mind.
心じゃないんだ。
Sorry, Chiemi-chan. I was just playing.
おお、見事な連続手のひら返し。このちえみをあっけに取られさせるとはなかなかやるな、春明さん。
Wow, one nice reversal after another. It takes quite a man to surprise me.
ちえみちゃんには負けないぜ。
I just don't want to lose to you, that's all.
付き合ってんのかてめえら。
Y'all dating or something? Boy, did I wish.
いい加減になさいよしつぐ。とうに遅刻でしょ。着替えて学校。
Stop it, Yoshitsugu. You're already late. Change and go to school. Says the MILF.
行かねえよ。
Shut up. I ain't going. Mumbling something, the kid walked out of the dining hall, leaving his half-full bowl behind.
ごめんなさいね。お恥ずかしいところを。
Sorry about that. How embarrassing.
根は素直ないい子なんですけどね。
He's really a good boy deep down, though, says Chami. Yeah, I could actually see that, somewhat.
あ、ところで牧島さんとムロさんは？
By the way, where are Makishima-san and Muro-san?
あ、もうバイク拾いに出ましたよ。
They went to pick up your bike.
まずい。追いかけないと。
Oh no, I gotta hurry after them.
場所は分かってるみたいだったし、大丈夫じゃない？
Hey, they know where it is. They'll be fine, don't you think?
いや、一応ニュートラルにすれば押せるけどさ、操作わかるのかな？
Well, you just have to set it on neutral and push, but I'm not sure they'll know how to do it.
あとさすがに手伝うべきでしょう。作業が非効率になっちゃまずいし。
And I, of all people, should help. They might go about it the wrong way.
その程度なら手出しはやめときましょう。
If that's all, then you shouldn't bother.
なんで？
Why?
取りも直さず、春明さんがよそ者だからです。長時間一緒に歩くのはちょっとおすすめできない。
Because you're an outsider. I wouldn't suggest spending too much time alone with them.
問題になりそうな人たちには思えなかったけど。
They didn't seem that bad.
そりゃあ二人とも大人だから。でも基本的にこの知恵みほどオープンな人はここにはそうそういないからね。
That's because they're adults. Don't assume everyone here is as welcoming as me. I'm an exception.
春明さんは平気かもだけど、一緒にいると向こうがストレス溜めるかもしれない。ただでさえ今普通じゃないから。
You might get along fine, but you might also set them off. This place is already far from normal. Don't risk making it worse.
まあ、そうね。任せろと言われたら、手出しをしない方がいいでしょうね。
She's right, I say. They insisted you leave it to them, so that's what you should do.
そうなんですか。
You think so too?
ええ。安水には安水のやり方がある。
Yes.
男の人たちはそれにこだわるから。
Yes, the men here are pretty serious about Yasumizu having its own way of doing things. I could somewhat understand that. A visitor should behave like one. Doing anything more would be uncalled for. It was an old-fashioned way of thinking, but this was an old-fashioned kind of place for sure.
じゃあ、どこで待とうか。
Where do we wait then?
うちに戻って待ちましょう。
At my place, says Chami. Expected as much, but it still made me curious. Normally, you'd expect we'd sit around and drink some tea right here, so why didn't we? As we waited, Chami casually but uncomfortably told me several things. First, I found out that the people here in Yasumizu were a bit on edge right now. The reason for that was the fact that, excluding me, they had 3 whole outsiders here. I had assumed this myself from what I knew so far, but apparently yesterday morning a little girl was found straying around in Saranaga Rapids. They couldn't even find out her name, let alone who her parents were, so they didn't know how to handle her. How to what? Yeah. For now, one of the inhabitants was looking after her. Like as I've been told, the more superstitious inhabitants, Taisan mostly, saw her as a bad omen. I suggested leaving her to the police, but Shammy didn't seem to think it was a good idea. It barely made sense to me, but if I were to believe her, things around here were such that not even the cops could do anything. Whoa. And apparently, the remaining 2 outsiders were a pair of journalists gathering info for a magazine article. Unlike the little girl and I, they'd come here via the normal route. Wait, what? Hold on. Apparently the remaining 2 outsiders were a pair of journalists gathering info for a magazine article. So then that means there would be 4 outsiders, not 3. I wonder if that's important. Unlike the little girl and I, they'd come here via the normal route, through Kami Fujiyoshi, and they weren't considered a bad omen or whatever. Still, even normal outsiders put the people here on edge. Through this talk, I also got some details about the area itself. Oh, there's a really interesting map. Maybe I should take a picture of it. As a good detective would do, right? I'm gonna enhance. I don't know how relevant it's gonna be, but I'd rather have it and be like, oh, how does that go, right? There's also like a weird symbol there at the top. Okay, so Kami Fujiyoshi is at the top of the mountain, and you take the mountain road and you end up in Yasumizu. There's that giant pine, I guess, that can be seen from town. The mountain is called Shinai. Shinai? Don't die? The river is called Saranaga, and there's a cliff right there. But then where did we enter? I wonder. Yasumizu was a settlement part of an autonomous region called Fujiyoshi Village, or simply Fujiyoshi. Yasumizu was a settlement part of an autonomous region called Fujiyoshi. I see. And that includes Kami Fujiyoshi and Yasumizu. It's also been on the map I've been shown at the store. Fujiyoshi was split into 2 areas, Yasumizu and Kami Fujiyoshi. They were separated by a mountain. Going to Kami Fujiyoshi took about an hour by foot, or 20 miles by car on the winding but paved road, or 20 minutes by road. Side note, the school the students went to was in Kami Fujiyoshi. Yo, the students had to hoof it an hour to get there? That's crazy. These 2 settlements had ties so strong, they shared customs and culture. Chami said the local seasonal events were quite unconventional. I asked her to elaborate, but all she would say is that Yasumizu had special meaning to Fujiyoshi. She was making me more suspicious than I wanted to be. This conversation wasn't nearly as exciting as the one we'd had last night. Well, at least I found out she didn't have a boyfriend right now. Very intriguing. He's like, very important, added to the notes, is single. It was nearly noon when Takumi-san came back, ending my waiting game. Side note, the door was fully open the entire time we waited. It was probably Chami's way of saying that nothing bad was happening here. Man, bikes are heavy, huh? Ain't as heavy as the boar I caught last year. I really didn't expect him to just carry it here. Like, sure, there were 2 of them, but just how much mass did he have to haul a 200-kilogram piece of metal so easily? I gotta Google that one, because I don't know kilograms. What the fuck is a kilometer? Anyways, 200 kilograms to pounds is 440 pounds. That is pretty hefty, I gotta say. I don't know if I could carry that much. I'm trying to think of what my record was when I went to the gym. I think at the most I did like 245s each side. 45, and I need my calculator here because I can't math. 45 times 4 equals 180. Plus the bar is like 75. My max, my record, my PR or whatever was 255, and I was struggling to lift all that up. So yeah, 255 for 400. That's almost 100 pounds over my max. So that's crazy. All right. So they're just built different, I guess. The unpaved road and the river the unpaved road and the river made my sweet ride really damn muddy. How'd you bring it up the cliff?
滑車があんだよ。たまに下から物を引き上げなきゃなんねえから。
There's a pulley. We bring stuff up from the bottom every now and again.
Oi, Takumi.
Hey, Takumi.
と余計なこと言ってる場合じゃねえ。
Oh yeah.
大丈夫なのか？だいぶ水に浸かっちまったみてえだけど。
Oh yeah, now's not the time for that. Hey, you think this thing's alright? It looked pretty damn wet.
どうかな。見てみます。
I'm not sure, I'll check.
じゃああとは任すぜ。おやつさん、結構かかっちまったから、研ぎ直しは明日まで待ってもらえっか。
I'll leave the rest to you then. Old man, this took longer than I thought. Would it be fine if I do the sharpening tomorrow? I saw them off with a loud thank you. Now then.
手伝おうか？
Need help?
とりあえず一人でなんとかなるかやってみるよ。
I'll see what I can do by myself first. The worst part of the repairs was right at the beginning. I wanted to start by washing it, but that old lady, Tai Yamawaki was her full name, got really mad at me. She didn't want any Saranaga mud in the ground here because it was corrupt or something. But this plaza was the only place with easy access to water supply tap, so I did my best possible to convince her to let me wash it, as close to the edge as possible. Once it was clean, I could start checking out what was wrong with it. It actually looked pretty good. Bet in places, sure, but the wash got rid of the bad sound the wheels made. The only problem was that both tires were flat. And it was a pretty big one.
道具とか持ってきてないの？
You didn't bring tools? No. Bike mechanic, this guy is not.
普通バイク旅行とかって持ってくるもんじゃないの？
Aren't you supposed to whenever you go on a bike trip?
いざとなればロードサービス呼べばいいかな。的なノリだったんで。
I just thought I could call road service and they do all the work.
不準備。
So unprepared.
いや、返す言葉もない。正直やけくそで出発したから冷静でもなかったのかも。
I have no excuse. Honestly, I was having a moment when I went out. Didn't think things through.
お？事情を聞いてほしそう。
Can I ask what happened?
彼女に振られたんだよ。
My girlfriend left me.
なんか嘘っぽいな。
That seems like a lie. It wasn't.
それはともかく、タンク修理道具か。
In any case, anywhere I could get tools to fix a flat tire.
野里屋敷ならあるかもしれないな。
And there might be some in the Nosato mansion.
野里屋敷？
Nosato mansion?
安水で一番大きなお家。野里屋敷にないものは安水にはないよ。
Yep, it's the biggest place in Yasumizu. If you can't find something there, you won't find it anywhere else in the village.
なるほど。じゃあそこの人にお願いしに行こう。
I see them. Let's give it a shot.
実はあんまり会うのはおすすめできないんだけど、背に腹は変えられないか。
I don't really recommend meeting the guy, but I can't think of any other ideas.
また偉い人が登場？
Someone important again?
その上ちょっと人格的にね。
Yeah, and he's kind of messed up to boot. Oh no. And so we walked up to the hill and arrived at the so-called Nosato mansion. From what I could tell, it was located in the highest point in the settlement. And like Chami said, it was definitely a hell of a building. It had an elegant Western design, which would probably look even better if the place were better maintained. The yard was overgrown, and the building itself was pretty much buried in ivy and small trees. If someone told me it was cursed, I'd have instantly believed them. Did people actually live here?
インターホン生きてるかな？
I wonder if the intercom works. She pressed the button next to the aged iron gate. Yasumizu was a quiet place, so I could easily hear the bell ring inside.
もう一度押そうか？
Should we try again?
やめとこ。何度も鳴らすと心象悪いから。
Let's not. We'll piss him off.
そんなに気難しい人なの？
Moody guy, huh?
そうね。気難しい。うん。いい表現だ。
Moody? Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I wasn't sure what she meant, but I opted just to wait rather than to ask more questions. Soon enough, the person in question walked out of the mansion.
なんだ？誰だ？
What is it? Who are you? He wasn't young, but he didn't look middle-aged either. He certainly looked high-strung, that much was true. He kind of looks like, the student guy. Is he the dad?
どうも、野里さん。芹沢です。
Hello, Nosato-san. It's Serizawa.
知っている。芹沢千恵美。そっちの青年は存じ上げないがね。
I know you, Chiami Serizawa. I'm asking the young man with you.
春明さん、こちら野里清之助さん。清之助さん、事故車の久石春明さんです。
Haruaki-san, this is Kiyonosuke Nosato-san. Kiyonosuke-san, this is Haruaki Fusaishi. He got into an accident. The introduction was the briefest one yet.
なんだって？
What? I explained the situation again. He furrowed his brow when I mentioned the Saranaga, in addition to the reason we were here.
というわけで早々にここから出ていくためにも修理道具をお持ちだったら貸していただけないかと。
So, I need repair tools so I can get out of here as soon as possible.
タイヤはチューブですかね？
Are the tires tubeless? Huh?
一応パッチもあるがね。チューブタイヤだったら素人には難しいんじゃないのか？
I have patches. I have patches, but I think fixing tubeless tires would be a bit too much for an amateur. Though, there's no problem if you aren't.
なあ、チューブがバーストしてたら交換するしかないが、替えはさすがに持っておらんよ。譲る義理もないがね。
Oh, but if the tube burst, you have no choice but to change it. I don't have any spares here, obviously, and I wouldn't give them if I did. Jerk.
すみません。ちょっとそのあたりあんまり詳しくないまま乗っちゃったんで。
Sorry, but I'm not too knowledgeable about that.
ちょっと話にならんね。おとなしく何十万だかの勉強料を払って拾ってもらうのをおすすめしよう。
What a waste of time. I recommend spending however many thousands you need to have repairmen come and pick you up. Ugh, I had no retort to that.
野里さん、多分ですけど、今の時期これ以上よその車がここに入るとか良くないんじゃないです？
Oh, but Nosato-san, I don't think we can have any more outsiders come here right now.
はあ？君は間違いりだろう。未だにそんなもの信じてるのかね？
Huh? Haven't you been to a proper city? Don't tell me you still believe that nonsense.
私はともかくじいさまばあさま方がちょっとここ数日やたら外来者多いですし。
I'd be fine with it, but I doubt the elders would be. We had too many visitors these past few days.
安水の連中の事情は知らんよ。私にどうしろと？え？油まみれになってパンク修理しろと？
Damn. I don't care what you Yasumizu peasants think. What do you expect me to do anyway? Fix the tires myself and get oil all over me? Oh, I've not updated my character sheet to include this guy. Hold on. It kind of struck me. Let's see. I should save a space for Yasunaga. Kiyonosuke Nosato. Kiyonosuke Nosato equals rich glasses guy. Or at the very least, he pretends to be rich. Alright.
いや、そこまでなくても藤吉の長者として困ってるマロードを助けるのにお力添えをいただけないかと。
Oh, I'd never suggest that. I just think that a Fujiyoshi village head should help a troubled visitor. Oh, he's the Fujiyoshi village head?
困った時だけ長者を頼るのではなく、休みず流のもてなしでもしたらどうかね。崖から突き落とすんだったか？ん？
Oh, he said something of importance, I think. How about, instead of relying on me only when it's convenient, you just give him a traditional Yasumizu welcome. You know, throw him off the cliff. Whoa, what the hell?
いや、そんな言っちゃダメですよ。
Come on, you can't say that. Chami's tone was slightly off. I could feel a bit of irritation behind her words. I should update, show that he is the village head. Or what did it say? Fujiyoshi village head. Rich glasses guy. Fujiyoshi village head. Alright. Throw them off a cliff, huh? Chami's tone was slightly off. I could feel a bit of irritation behind her words.
本当お恥ずかしい限りなんですが、なんとかしてみるんで道具だけ貸してもらえませんか？
I know it might be a bother, but can you at least lend me the tools?
なんだと？
What?
道具やらキットやら仮に入るだけで作業は別のところでしますから、もちろんお代は払います。
I'll just borrow them. You won't hear or see me work. I can even pay.
まあ構わんがね。下手に物を破損させたりしたら弁償してもらうぞ。学生だか知らんがきっちりしてもらう。
Well, I don't mind that much, but I'll want compensation for anything you break. Student or not, I'll have you act proper. Then he pointed me to the garage and walked back to the mansion.
いやー、なんとかならない気がしてきた。チューブがバーストってなんだろう。
Man, I thought we were screwed there. What the hell is a burst tube?
春明さんかっこ悪。
Wow, that's so lame.
え？バイク乗りならスパナ一本で何でも修理してみせろと。
What? You think every biker can fix a bike just by bashing it with a wrench or something? So here's a little side tangent that I think, right? If you want to ride a bike, hold on, I gotta readjust myself. Okay, if you want to ride a bike, right? You're a biker or you want to be a biker. I feel like you should be able to repair your own bike from the engine, tinker with the engine, to the wheels, you know, do emergency roadside repairs, all that stuff, you know? I feel like the image people have of bikers are that they're mechanics first and riders second. I know that that's not, you know, that's not the way things are, because, you know, I'm not a bike rider, but I could go get myself a license and get trained up and be riding a motorcycle without knowing anything about how it mechanically works, right? But I feel like part of the image of a biker is having the ability to fix your own bike. So yes, Haruaki is a bit lame, in my opinion, for not knowing how to repair his own bike.
まあわかりませんけど、なんかそういうメカに強い感じ？出したらグッとくる女は多いのでは？
I don't know, but aren't there a lot of girls who are into guys good with cars and stuff?
じゃあ野里氏にはグッときたと。
Oh, so you're into Nosatoshi?
いやー、どうせ知ったかぶりだから。あの人多分自分じゃ整備もできないよ。筋金入りの占い病炭だし。
Nope, he's just acting like he's smart. He's probably never repaired a thing in his life. The guy's not nearly as experienced as you'd have you think.
え？じゃあなぜバイクの整備用品なんて？
Huh? Then why does he have bike repair stuff?
野里屋敷は上藤吉にある野里家のもっと大きいお屋敷からいらないものを運んで置いとくような場所らしくてね。
The Nosato mansion is basically the Yasumizu branch of the Nosato family. Their main mansion is in Kami Fujiyoshi. Whatever they don't need there, they send over here.
5、6年前に清之助さんが単車買ってもらったけど、 ろくに乗りこなせなくてお蔵入りにしたとか聞いたことある。
I heard Kiyonosuke-san was given a car 5 or 6 years ago, but he couldn't drive it at all, so it's been gathering dust ever since. Kiyonosuke, oh, that's Tanasan. Okay. Damn, that was the countryside for you. Couldn't hide your shame if your life depended on it. Anyway, I now knew that the man was the condescending pretentious type. See, he still helped me out though, and it was true that I didn't know much about bike repairs, so I couldn't really get mad. Anyway, let's just take everything that looks useful. Like bandits, huh? I'm in. Oh, Chiami. I really hope Chiami's not the murderer. There are still some flags, you know, against her. But I really hope she's not the murderer. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Sure I'm not bothering you?
I
feel down without anyone to talk to. Just keep chatting with me, it helps. The instructions that came with the repair kit told me that my bike's tires were a rather difficult type of repair. Apparently, I had to remove the tires. But where did I even start with that? Well, as long as I didn't break it, nothing I did could be worse than having to call road service here. So I just tried taking it apart. But as I removed whatever nuts I could, I made the situation even worse than it was. Yeah, this really wasn't a job for an amateur. You seem to be having a rough time. You can eat this too, Chiami-chan. Wow, thank you. Oh, this looks serious. Man, machines are just no good, says Takumi. Hey, the benefits of culture are great as long as they don't break. She says this as she's eating what I'm assuming is like onigiri or something. The benefits of culture are great as long as they don't break. Think he can fix it before sundown? Says, Grandma Tai. That might be hard. Don't worry though. Worst comes to worst, I'll do something. As she's eating more onigiri. I really appreciated how she handled the visitors in my stead. Hey, Chine, is it hard to get a bike license? Says the punk. I don't know. I know that scooter licenses are easy. I have one myself. Mid-sized bike licenses are pretty hard to get. You even need to take a course, just like with cars. You like bikes? The hell? What's the matter to you? How much was that anyways? 800,000 yen, brand new. Damn. I like this guy. Holy shit! What the hell? That's way too high. Are you an idiot or what? How'd you get that much? Part-time jobs and all that. And you got into it in an accident. Oh, and you got it into an accident. Poor Haruaki-san. She's still eating. Chiami-sensei, if I may ask, what happened to my share of the food? Oh no, I ate it all. Poor Haruaki-san. I don't want sympathy from the one responsible. Okay, so detective hat on this time. Again, I mean, I always have it on, but just trust me on this one, okay? This is the second time that she has prevented us, or the MC, from eating the food from Fujiyoshi. Or what's this village called specifically? It's called I need my notes. This is why it's important to take notes. Yasumizu, right? She has prevented us from taking the food from Yasumizu. And I don't think that's on accident. Especially here, where she ate it all, right? She knows something's going on. And maybe the Oribe MILF lady is trying to drug us or something. But she does not want us to eat the food. And that's by design. So she knows something's up. But she's, again, trying to keep us out of it. Is that good or bad, I wonder? As I told her off for not leaving me any food, I somehow removed the tires. I can only hope I'll be able to fix this up. I sure hope you remembered what nuts you took off and bolts or whatever, and that you're able to patch that up, because if your tires fall off mid-ride, you're gonna be screwed either way. I can only hope I'll be able to fix this up. I had this thing for less than a month, but the trouble it was putting me through made me feel so much dear to me. He's only had it for a month, brand new, and he just trashed it? That's crazy. I wanted to fire it up again and make it go as fast as I could. Suddenly, I heard an engine. It felt like it was mocking me. Hold on, an engine? Here? I stopped working and turned to see an unfamiliar van drive into the plaza. Barring the classic-looking piece of junk in Osato's garage, this was the first time I'd seen a car here. As far as I knew, no one living here actually owned a running car, so... These are the journalists I told you about. I knew it. Once the van stopped, the lady stepped out of it. Hello. Oh, nice snappy dress. Cute bob cut. Her horseshoe is not the right... her horseshoe is not right side up, I don't think. Because isn't a lucky horseshoe supposed to be upside down? Let me look that up. Lucky horseshoe. Images. Some images are right side up, other images are upside down. Is a lucky horseshoe up or down? Oh, apparently a horseshoe hung with the ends pointing upwards will collect and retain good luck. A horseshoe hung with the ends pointing down will give good luck to anyone under it. So you want to, I guess, put those over like thresholds? The upside down horseshoe is best for indoor use. And it says, hang it in the direction that feels luckiest to you. I mean, apparently it doesn't matter. All right, I won't delay any further. Let us continue. Oh, she's pretty. Hello, that's Jamie. I'll be bothering you again. You're a new face. Hello, my name's Haruaki Bike Crash. Don't be so hard on yourself, says Chemi. Huh? Crap, that was no time for an inside joke. I quickly introduced myself properly. I crashed not too far away. So I'm stuck here for the time being. Oh, I see, you're a student. Sorry about the trouble you're going through. Oh, and this is me. The woman gave me her business card. Hisako Mamiya, a freelance writer. Her pen name was Kyuko Hosei. Have you ever read Kyuko Hosei's articles? Sorry.
まだまだマイナーだし、そもそも記事載った雑誌、主婦向けとシニア向けだし。
I figured as much. I'm not a big name yet, and the magazines I do get printed are marketed for housewives and the elderly.
それは難易度高いな。ちなみに何を書いておられるんです？
That's some pretty intense competition. What do you write anyway?
フードレビュー、変わった食品専門のね。
Food reviews. I specialize in unusual dishes.
あれですか？世界で一番臭い缶詰とかそういう。
Like the foulest smelling canned food in the world or something?
そうそう。まあシュールなんて今更ネタになんないから、国内に絞ってマイナーな珍味を探し歩いてるわけ。
Yep, well, your usual brand of weirdness doesn't attract much attention these days, so I'm looking for minor culinary oddities local to Japan.
そんなわけで、調理に変わった料理があるとか情報があったらぜひちょうだい。日本全国どこでも行くから。
Anyway, if you know any weird dishes from your hometown, do tell me. I traveled the length of Japan to give it a try.
ラボの後輩がキャンパス内で取ったキノコで豚汁作ったら集団幻覚が起きまして。
A student from the lab I frequented once made pork miso soup with a mushroom he found on campus. We had mass hallucinations and
思いつきと毒物は却下ね。
no flashes of brilliance or poisons, please. As we chatted, I became curious.
そういえば取材の方はお二人とか。
By the way, weren't there two of you?
ええ、もう一人いるわ。ちょっと降りてくるのに時間が。あ、来た来た。
Yes, I'm here with a partner. He does need some time to... Oh, here he is. I looked at the van and became completely awestruck. It felt like the van had shed its skin or something. That made no sense. But seriously, how did it fit? How did this fit in there? Yo, he's built like a tank. He was gargantuan. Takumi-san was something, but this man was on the level of a foreign heavyweight wrestler. Though, unlike Takumi-san, this man was primarily fat rather than muscle. As he walked out of the driver's seat, the van shook wildly. Takumi-san is the big dude, right? This is Yudai Hashimoto-san, a photographer. He's way more famous than me. He works in all sorts of fields. I imagine you've seen some of his photos without even knowing. I'm gonna write these names down just in case, especially because they're quote-unquote outsiders, right? Isako Mamiya equals Bob Cut Cute Reporter an outsider, right? And then the other guy is Yudai Hashimoto. Yudai Hashimoto. Equals big guy photographer. Works with Hisako. Hisako. Outsider. There we go. Journal updated.
写真家の橋本雄大さんよ。こちらは私より
I accidentally hit the mic, the voice option. I didn't know much about photography, but I was definitely convinced. There was a certain kind of authority or gravity around him. Quiet guy, huh? He wasn't saying a word, and I couldn't tell what he was thinking.
どうもはじめまして。久石春明です。
Nice to meet you. I'm Haruaki Fusaishi. Was he even alive?
どうも。
Hello. After a strange pause, he slowly bowed like the moving mountain he was and greeted me with a voice like a titan. He seemed somewhat difficult to interact with.
今日で最終日でしたっけ？
This is your last day here, isn't it?
ええ、オリルさんが秘蔵の獅子慣れを開けてくださるってことなので。
Yes, Oribe-san said she'd let me try her prized Shishinari.
よその人に耐えられるかな？
I don't know if an outsider can handle it.
まあ、胃薬も持ってきてるから大丈夫でしょ。
I have my stomach medicine, so I'm sure I'll be fine. And so, Mamiya-shi and Hashimoto-shi walked off the dining hall. She? Is that a joke? I don't get it. Unless she is like some kind of like a san or chan or whatever. Who would have thought that such a beauty was a delicacy hunter? I had to admit that gap was kind of charming. As intrigued as it was, I couldn't waste any more time. I had to fix my bike already. Whoa! Who's this guy? Huh? A lot of things had surprised me here in Yasumizu, but nothing as much as this.
もしもし。
Hello? No reaction. At first glance, he looked like a poor man too seen out to think and perceive properly.
何かご用ですか？
You need something from me? I made sure to speak as clearly as possible. It didn't look like he understood. I figured it was best to just ignore him and resume the repairs, but... Coming. Phrasing. I looked at him again. He was still just standing there, like his soul and brain had left his body. A vacant stare, yellowed eyes, half-open mouth covered in saliva. Coming. He spoke again.
何が来るんです？
What's coming? The W. Well, it'd be like the what? His voice was too hoarse to make out.
何ですって？
Come again? I placed my hand against his ear. I placed what? I placed my hand against my ear. Okay. He finally understood what I wanted and prepared to whisper something. I brought my ear closer and... Jump scare. Yeah. The wolf is coming! A sudden shout caught me completely off guard and made me fall to the ground. He looked down at me, laughing. He clapped and opened his half-toothless mouth into a wide smile. The wolf is coming! The wolf is coming! Maniacal laughter. He bent his body in a weird way and laughed like he was convulsing, turned around, and just left. What an aura farmer. Announces something, doesn't elaborate, just leaves. Just a meme. Haruaki-san! Oh, I'm too late. Chemi had joined the journalist and only had just come back.
何が遅かったと？
Late for what?
おじいちゃん、知らない人にはああやっていたずらするんだよ。
Gramps over there loves messing around with strangers like that.
え、あれ、ちえみちゃんの？
Wait, that's your grandpa?
いやいや、本名は知らないんだ。昔から休みずにいるおじいちゃんだけど、昔からあんな感じ。
No, I don't even know his name. He's been in Yasumizu forever and he's always like that.
ボケてるというか、ちょっとおかしいのか、あの人。
It felt less like he was just messing around and more like he's a bit touched.
みんな狼じじいって呼んでるけどね。
Yep, everyone calls him the old man who cried wolf. Alright, I'll write that down. Cause anyone is a suspect here. The old man who cried wolf. Cried wolf equals crazy old man. There we go. Named after the boy who cried wolf, I assume. Doesn't work as well though.
狼ね
Wolves, eh? As far as I knew, there were no wild wolves in Japan. So then wait, if there are no wild wolves in Japan, then why are we worried about getting torn to bits in the woods? I guess boars exist, right? Boars are scary. I mean, there's the whole like boar running rampant and boars running rampant in Texas, right? There used to be, but after the last sighting in either Meiji or Showa era, they've been considered extinct here. Modern Japan's image of wolves came from Western fairy tales and the like. It wasn't linked to anything in the culture or life. Even The Boy Who Cried Wolf was a Western tale. Yeah. Did his brand of insanity make him repeat the tale or something? A bit weirded out by the circumstances, I went back to repairing my bike. After a bit more time, I somehow took off the rubber tires and removed the tubes. Both tires were pierced by some really rusty nails. Fuck, this kind of stuff only happened at the worst of times. I then applied the patches and filled them with air using a manual pump. I wet the tubes. There were no bubbles, meaning no air was leaving them. Things were looking good. Oh, yawns Chammy. After the high schoolers came back from school and passed by, no one else stopped to talk. Chammy was looking a bit bored now.
なんとかなりそうかも
I think I got it.
嘘あんなにダメっぽかったのに
Seriously? But it all seems so helpless.
悪かったねまあこれを組み立て直すって大仕事が残ってるけど
Oh, sorry. Though I still need to rebuild this. That's gonna be a lot of work.
それが終わったら出発できそう
And you'll be able to leave them?
そうだね長居するとまずそうなのはよく分かったし
Yeah, believe me, I know I shouldn't stay here long. I can take the hint.
そうよかった
That's great. She didn't seem to care that much. Guess I had no chance with her, huh?
もう何時間も缶を詰めっぱなしでしょ大丈夫疲れてない
You've been at this for hours. How are you holding up? Need a break?
昼食休憩の機会が誰かさんに奪われたこともあってね
Well, it'd be better if a certain someone didn't take away my lunch break.
代わりにクラッカーをあげたじゃないですか
Hey, I gave you some crackers, didn't I? Like that was enough to say a guy in his mid-20s.
まあ僕は大丈夫もう一頑張りする君ももう行っていいよ大体の人とは顔合わせしたような気がするし
Still, I'm pretty fine. I'll push forward a bit more. You can go if you want. I've been introduced to just about everyone here.
多分あと2人会ってない人がいるかな
There's 2 people you haven't met yet. Really? Well, there was no real need to, right?
もうちょっといるよどうせ暇だから帰ってきたわけだしすることもないし
2 people you haven't met yet. I'll stay around here a bit longer. I came back here because I was bored. It's not like I'm busy.
52人の男友達と遊ぶ選択肢はなかったの
Couldn't you play around with your 52 guy friends?
全言撤回暇したいから帰ってきたの街暮らしは面倒も多くて52人からのメール攻めとかさ
I take it back. I came back because I wanted to be bored. Living in the city is so annoying and tiring, especially with 52 guys texting you all the time.
そっか
Oh.
ごめん52人は嘘
Sorry, I lied about the 52 guys.
なんでそんな嘘を
Why? He seems very interested in that fact.
春明さんに対する牽制
They wanted to keep you in check, I guess? Why would she pull a tactic like that only to reveal her hand?
ねえ
Does
彼女
she
に振られたっ
like
て
us?
本当
Hey, did you really get dumped by your girlfriend? And now she asked me that.
本当だって
I did, honest.
そっか
I see. Well, after that relentless assault, it wouldn't be fair unless I played my own card.
なんならこれ乗っていく？
Wanna come with?
え、これって二人乗りなんだ。
Huh? It's a two-seater?
もちろん。一応タンデム用のヘルメットも吊るしてきてるし、まだ乾いてないけど。
Yeah, there's even an extra helmet. It's not dry yet, though.
僕はこのままここを出ていくから、その便でちえみちゃんも外に出るのが都合良ければってことになるけど。
I'm obviously leaving soon, so unless you have something planned, you can join me.
ついでにロングツーリングしてみる？時間さえあればどこへだって行くよ。
You can even go on a bike tour. If we have enough time, I can take you anywhere. Flexible, open to fine-tuning, wild, and charming. This is a good date invitation if I say so myself.
いいね、素敵。都合問題ないよ。
That sounds great, and I have no plans. Oh?
じゃあ荷物まとめてくるね。
I'll go get my stuff then. Shammy smiled and turned around to head to her place. She then looked back at me and...
急いだ方がいいよ。ちえみさんの気が変わらないうちにね。
You should hurry before I change my mind.
はいはい。
Yeah, sure. Well, that made me motivated. This was one tiring trip, but at least I met someone good along the way. I just forget everything I didn't want to remember while on the road with her. I could only hope that clever girl and I would eventually grow closer. With that ulterior motive in mind, I resumed rebuilding the bike. Oh no. That's a red flag if I ever saw one. Yeah, let's go on a trip together. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah, I can finally have a girlfriend now. None of that is gonna happen. We're playing this during spooky season. You think this ends in a happy ending? Well, it may. It may actually. But it's definitely not the primary theme, right? I came here for werewolves. This whole dang stream so far has been nothing but setup, and I'm like, them saying this now is making me think that I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop. Like we're gonna get our first murder, and we're gonna see who gets gotted and how to proceed from there. After several failed attempts, I was finally making some good progress in putting the bike back together. Afternoon had passed, and it was almost evening. At the rate I was going, I'd definitely be working while it was dark. Would that even be possible? It might be way past midnight by the time I was done. Chemi might dump me for that. Man, life sure was hard. The plaza I had worked in was now totally empty. There was no one around me. All I could hear was the wind, the frogs, and the tools in my hands. It was desolate, to say the least. I suddenly felt really weak. It made me keenly aware of being in a place that didn't belong, and that I was preparing to escape. It was an oppressive atmosphere, like the bars of a cage were slowly swinging shut. What's this? What's this, Haruaki? Think you're gonna get attacked or something? I tried to laugh it off, but it didn't work. As I became more conscious of my surroundings, I began to hear things I hadn't noticed before. I heard a voice. Someone was singing. It was an inarticulate little girl's voice. I stopped my work. If I heard a little girl singing, and well, actually, we know that there is a little girl in the village, right? But if I just like randomly heard a little girl singing and I was like all alone, I would be a little worried. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would be a little concerned, right? Before I knew it, I put my tools down and gone looking for the source. Was I that starved for human presence? Or did the malaise make me feel like I was in danger? I walked down the hill to where the song came from. Passing the tall grass, I arrived. Like a haiku, he said. Guardians are... It was a strange sight. The field was covered in tall grass. Oh no, there's all these stone pillars or whatever. There were countless rocks peeking out from it. Unlike the boulders in all over Yasumizu, they were only up to my waist. They looked like gravestones. I mean, that's definitely a kid singing. I mean, they're a little out of tune too, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's how the song is supposed to go. I don't know. 6. The bad jar hums A bad jar hums along grate within array of bricks. A bad jar hums along grate with array of bricks. The field extended into the dusky western sky before ending at a cliff. This was the lowest spot in Yasumizu, the border to Saranaga. Interesting then that the gravestones would be there, right? Pretty on point considering that they consider Saranaga the connecting point between the underworld and the living. There was a large pine tree right at the edge. Either way, I don't know what she's saying, but either way, it sounds creepy, right? 8. The donut bologna rice snows on the mountain. The evening sun, the stones, and the pine shadow gave the field a strange aura. A little girl was running through it. Her steps were awkward. At this moment, the space was alien. I felt like I was looking at a Giorgio de Chirico painting. The place felt like it didn't belong in the world. Okay, well, I'm not an artist or an art connoisseur, so I'm gonna look up Giorgio de Chirico painting. And Giorgio de Chirico, his full name Giuseppe Maria Alberto Giorgio de Chirico, was an Italian artist and writer born in Greece. In the years before World War I, he founded the Scuola Metafisica art movement, which profoundly influenced the Surrealists. Let's take a look at his drawings. It definitely gives like surrealism, and I just said I wasn't an art connoisseur, right? It definitely gives surrealist paintings, but not like the super crazy surrealism that like we see later. It's just like it gives like weird perspective, like the buildings, and the color styling is also of surrealism. So look that up. Look that up if you guys are curious. The place felt like it didn't belong in this world. Suddenly, I came to understand that this place was special. It was a sacred mystical ground where no outsiders were welcome. The girl fell. Are you okay? I run to with no hesitation the little girl. Little girl, she's cute. She reminds me of what's that one girl from Fire Emblem? Fire Emblem Three Houses. You know the one? She's called like Marianne? No. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you guys know what I'm talking about, please let me know in the comments. I don't have her name. But yeah, she reminds me of that. Or perhaps the other girl from the one where she is a like villainess in a Sentai show. Love after something. She looks like that. Help up. Half crying little girl. Muddy clothes. New graze on band-aid covered kneecap. Why is it written like this? Oh, hold on. Hold the fuck on. These look like arrows that we might need later, right? We're gonna put that in the clues section. Clues. My gamer senses, right? Helping little girl. Right. And then down. Then left. Then up. I don't know if this is anything or not, but the fact that the storytelling changed to arrows makes me think that it's important. So I'll write it down. Oh, here we go. I console little girl, push away, run. Dang, okay. Right, Right. Right. Right, right, right. 4 rights. Down. Down. It's like Helldivers were inputting the stratagem. I console little girl, push away, run. Someone appears. Girl, saw once, me. All right. Left, 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 left.
夕霧立てば宴の支度
Prepare for the feast when the evening mists arrive. Girl, weave, incomprehensible phrase, hide behind, little girl, fear hostility, eyes. Oh, that's a lot of arrows. I don't know. Right, right, up, left, right, right, up. I sure hope I don't have to be writing these words either. Girl, weave, incomprehensible phrase, hide behind, little girl, fear hostility, eyes.
逃げて
Run. Girl, hug, little girl, warn. Me? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the arrows have anything to do with it at this point. I've made a new conclusion, and I don't think the arrows have anything to do with it. However, since I've already written them down, I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Right. 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 And then write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right times 10. Because I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to write all those arrows.
間に合わないでしょうけど
You probably won't make it. She's really cute. I like the really straight hair and the bob cut with the long hair and the long little front parts. Like I really like her whole aesthetic. She is also the narrator, I think, that we had heard earlier, like before the story even started. She was the one who was telling us about like what this game is about. You probably won't make it.
逃げて
But run. Me, girl, behind. I mean, out of context, that's a whoa, I would say. Oh. Right, right, left. Right, right, left. What if in the final sequence I have to input this code somewhere? Missed. Missed, 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 missed. Me. Turn around. Run. Where? In a daze, I came back to the plaza. Suddenly, Chiemi shook me, bringing me back to my senses.
どこへ行ってたの
Where were you?
ごめん。すぐ作業に戻るから。
Sorry. I'll finish the job now. Where did we end up in here? Because he was fixing the bike, right? Oh, he heard the girl. He heard the girl singing. Yeah, and that's when things started taking a turn. He's like started talking like in single words, single syllables. Yeah. So by the time he reached her in that area, he started going into a daze. Actually, the second he heard her singing, that's when things started getting weird. Interesting. Sorry, I'll finish the job now. It's too late, you idiot.
もうダメ間に合わない荒木さんも隠れて
It's too late, you idiot. You won't make it in time. You gotta hide. I couldn't understand what she was getting at.
何やってんだチエミとっとと部屋に戻れ
What are you doing? Get to your room right now.
でも春明さんが
Haruaki-san.
ほっとけそんなよそ者俺はおやっさんと他の連中んち回るから絶対戻れよチエミ
Forget the outsider. Old man Kanzo and I'll check the other places. Stop wasting time and get back to yours. I couldn't understand. What were these two doing? What scared them so much? It didn't take long for me to find out. I looked down the hill. From Saranaga, beyond the field I'd just been in, came a rising haze. It was so dense you could easily call it mist. It moved strangely, like a living creature, as it flowed into the plaza. Araki-san, over here! Chami pulled me by the hand.
何がなんだか頭がなんだ頭が重いな
What's going on? My head feels like it weighs a ton. Deal with it. You've got to find a place you can lock the doors. You'll die if you don't.
どういうことなの理由を
What do you mean? Tell me. Please don't ask questions and just do as I say, just this once. Obey hesitantly. I did as she did. I did as she said. We ran up the hill and crossed a rice field path until we made it to a simple outhouse. This should be fine.
本当何事なんだ確かにすごい霧だけどそんな慌てることじゃ
Seriously, what's going on? And sure, that was a hell of a mist, but this won't protect me, right? Listen, there's no time to explain, so please, just do what I say and only that. Get in there, lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night, and don't make a sound. My mind is pretty clear by this point, so much that I began to wonder why it was clouded until now. Because of that, I could easily understand exactly what Chami just said, despite how weird it was. I could also see she was really desperate. Hide in the outhouse is the only option we have. You need 4 keys to be able to unlock this next option. That's insane. That we're not supposed to be able to have this option until way later. Holy shit. Okay, so we hide in the outhouse then.
またとんでもない指示が来たもんだ
Ha, now that's a hell of an order. Haruaki-san.
言っとくけど相当な無茶ぶりだからねノルマクリアの暁には相当な見返りと説明を要求するから
Just so you know, pulling that off is pretty hard. When I do, I'd like a good reward and explanation. Sure, I'll tell you everything. So please, survive the night. I can't tell if she's blushing or if that's the mist, you know? Is she starting to like us, you know? Or is she the murderer? I guess we'll find out. The words, the teary smile, none of it looked fake.
じゃあね君も急ぐんでしょ
See you then. You gotta hurry, right? Yep. Haruaki-san.
何
What? I'll tell you tomorrow. Leaving me one hell of a homework assignment, Chami ran off. The plaza was covered in mist by now. I could see it rising to take over the fields, too. Anyway. A promise was a promise. 10 minutes later, I began to wonder what I was doing. Was I really supposed to spend the night here? This outhouse wasn't like a prefab you'd find in construction sites. It was just a shack built by hand. It merely happened to have a toilet unit installed. It was just a shack built by hand. It merely have a toilet unit inside. Okay, I get the feeling that the wolfening is happening right now, right? Like the mist rising and the evil, well, not the evil girl, but like the cute girl chanting about evil things, you know? It makes me feel like the haunting is happening, right? So this is probably a good place to stop. I'm gonna save actually. Menu, save, although I'll probably autosave. Oh, that was the first big decision we had to make, right? So we're gonna save here. Then if we load, yeah, the outhouse. Oh, it does. It saves the question. It saves the question, and the chapter you're on. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna save it there, and then once we continue the next part, we're gonna go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this series, this game right here. Pretty much this first whole session was just the setup, the village we're in, meet most of the characters, what kind of a predicament our MC finds themselves in, you know. So now that we've got that out of the way, I will be glad to really get into, or you know, bite into the real meat of this story, right? So that's gonna be it. Because we beat Luigi's Mansion super early into a spooky season, I'm gonna play Raging Loop, you know, as much as I can. Hopefully we are able to finish this. If I were to like focus fire this down, right, I should be able to finish it within the spooky season. How much time I got? I have all of this week. We have all this week, next week, the week after that. So that's 3 weeks of stream time. And then if I include the first week of November, really, I feel like I could do it because that's almost a whole month of streaming time to take this on. I might even just like do one major route or a loop, should we say? Haha. I might just do one route and then call it, depending on how long this game is, really. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Pretty interesting stuff so far. I think maybe I'll play more visual novel style games on stream, just because the fact that I have to read this out loud to you guys kind of keeps me motivated to keep going, and I'm able to like voice my thoughts on like what's happening with the game so far out loud. Whereas if I'm playing a visual novel by myself, I find it like it's basically a novel. Like I'm reading, like I'm doing all this reading by myself, right? So it's like a book. The thing about books though, is that like eventually my eyes get tired, and I just want to put it down and then like rest and then like go do other things, you know. So I don't really have the motivation as much to be able to like sit down and do this by myself. So I really kind of like streaming. I really kind of like visual novels for streaming, because I get to experience it along with you guys, and I stay motivated to kind of keep on going, keep on churning through the story, and reading all the conversation bits that are happening. So I might do more of that. Lord knows I have a shiitake ton of visual novels that I've been meaning to go through. So that might be something I add to the regular scheduling repertoire. But that's gonna be it for me tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and take us to the ending screen now. This has been Eagle, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.